kick to the gut. I like it.
Hey, yo! What's going on? It's Monday afternoon. You know what that means. I did a JR there. I couldn't help it. It's Mr. Young, though.
And it's foreign in the building, bro. I am Shaq AF, bro.
Shaq AF, do I want to know what you've been doing this whole weekend?
No, don't worry. It's everything is PG.
Okay.
It's still for WWE audiences. I only slept like maybe 3 hours, 4 hours.
Oh, football. Is the football thing.
Yes, it's the football thing, bro. You know what? You know why it's terrible?
Why?
The whole game went to extra penalty shootout.
Oh, hey, but aren't penalty shootouts like very exciting?
No, it's very nerve-wracking. But the annoying thing is, before that, this game, right, Liverpool versus Chelsea, I'm a Liverpool fan, right? It is the best 0-0 game in history, bro.
Is it? Hey, wait a minute. It was Liverpool versus Chelsea.
Your team, bro, yes.
As an ex-Chelsea supporter, I mean, it's not like I switched to another team, okay? For those of you who don't know, I just stopped watching football altogether, right? I should be like, hey, bro, but I don't care about the current team now. So
Like, I mean, you shouldn't care because they lost, so.
Anyway, let's say what's up to the chat as well. Thank you so much for joining us here on the live stream. Of course, we live stream our podcast every single Monday afternoons. Well, like 98% of the time, like once in a while, we have to do a pre-tape, just like the WWE and AEW does. You know, life gets in the way, but usually we're live. So if you're listening to this on the podcast via Spotify or on Apple Podcasts, like after the fact, then hey, come join us on the live streamer. It's a lot more interactive, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, you guys can share your thoughts, can talk, can ask Foreign about what's going on with his facial hair, why is he doing a Tony Stark?
Yeah, Edison has noticed it. He went in chat, he's like, yo, Farhan, I can see the mustache. He has acknowledged the mustache.
Thanks, bro. I'm just trying to embrace turning 30 this year.
There you go. By making yourself look older?
I mean...
Because, here's the truth about it. Facial hair does make you look older, right? When that's why look at me. I'm like in my 40s, but no facial hair, so I still look, baby face.
Very good. Very baby face. Yeah, I want to look a bit heelish, bro. I think it's time for foreign Hilton soon. That's why.
You know who you look like right now in terms of like the type of facial hair? Because it's like not quite there yet, because you're still very young. Austin Theory, bro. He got the same look. Bro, you're the Austin Theory.
Bro, don't angkat. My body is not Austin. My body is probably Bastian Booger right now.
All right. Muhammad Daniel, what's up? Good to see you. Irvin,
what's up, Daniel?
Irvin says world's going to end, people, but we still need to listen to Kick to the Gut. Yo, we appreciate that you're here. And I mean, we try to not get too political on this podcast, but everybody, please stay safe. With the world the way it is now, because there are so many more connections via the internet, we have air travel that is so much more accessible. I was just reading an article about Ukrainian students here in Singapore as well, and what they're going through as well. Come on, what we need right now is more love, more world peace.
Yeah, definitely. I was also watching, reading articles, clearly getting myself updated with the situation. And do you know about this Ixchun, former MediaCorp actor?
Yes, he is literally there in the UK because he has a Ukrainian wife, right? He decided to stay there.
Living the dream.
Sure, okay. But he decided to stay there, and he's been doing these reports with like CNA and the news sites. So like he's become this like on the ground reporter. It is incredible.
Yeah. Do you know this guy personally? I mean, like, was he around during your time?
I've never met him personally, and he didn't. Like, he's one of those actors, right? He only came in for a short while. Acting wasn't really like a lot of these MediaCorp stars, they're lifers. He's like the Goldberg. He came in for a while and then he left.
Bro, headline coming out of Kick to the Gut. Ixchun is Singapore's Goldberg.
You know how it is. We need to draw parallels to pro wrestling every time we can, right? This is Kick to the Gut after all. But I just want to put good vibes out into the universe right now. No more war.
Bro, just like MJF, bro, pro wrestling is the thing that saves us. Like sometimes we're gonna dive into that,
that promo
really soon.
Yeah.
But I think that just wanted to start off. I think everyone who comes to watch wrestling, who comes and hang out on this podcast, like pro wrestling is some sort of escapism from like their daily lives.
Yeah.
Something that we can kind of like turn 2 is always there for us. And that's what I feel when I watch wrestling and when I watch AEW these days.
That's true. That's true. Speaking of which, AEW has been kicking and firing on all cylinders, haven't they? And we'll get to that in just a little while. In the meantime, though, we would be remiss if we didn't drop an announcement that I'm very excited about. I know you are very excited about this, Foreign, as well. Okay, I'm not sure if you froze or you were just very still, because you were very still for a moment. I was like, no. The connection's all good.
I was in deep thoughts.
Oh, deep. You are cowboy with deep thoughts, like Adam Page. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I wanted to say Adam, see, that's why the WWE doesn't have two people of the same name, because you get confused. I just got confused for a second. I was like, Adam Page.
Oh, well, I'm not confused, bro. I know who is the real cowboy, and it's not Adam Cole or Adam Page. It's Brock Lesnar, bro.
Oh, God, yes. He is
the real cowboy of wrestling.
Oh, my gosh. And we will talk about that. But talking about big announcements and talking about exciting things, we, as you know, already have a Patreon page, right? So if you want to support us, you want to take your support to the next level, hey, you can always pledge your support. We have many different tiers. And coming to our Patreon page very soon, and we had a lot of fun doing this. How about this? Match commentary.
Woo!
With Foreign and Mr. Young, and not just any match commentary, okay? Because what we have, our first little match commentary project, Grapple Max.
Guys, we are piloting something awesome. Shout out to our Grapple Max peeps. Shout out to the end boss, Gregory. Who reached out to us and asked like, hey guys, since you couldn't be there for our first ever return event post-COVID, why not you guys be a little involved and do some commentary for the main event of that show.
So for whatever reason, in case you couldn't make it that day, right, at their event. I mean, the main event was awesome. It was Smart Dave versus Hotshot Wilson. Well, we will have that content with our match commentary up on our Patreon page very soon. Akan datang, stay for details. But yeah, if you do, feel like you want to support us a little bit more, check out the page. It's right there. It's in the links in the description as well. Yeah.
And good news, apparently Patreon is now localized. So it's not in SUD. You can see it's in SGD.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, so people won't get confused when they say, oh, $4.99, hey, why suddenly deduct so much? Okay, now it's very there upfront. And a couple of you were asking, like, hey, how you all benefit from this? Very simple, guys. Patreon will take some platform fee, but the rest goes back to the podcast. So we really appreciate those of you who have been there. Shout out to The Shadow. Shout out to Div Royalty. You can see their names on the ticker below.
That's right.
So they are the ones who subscribe to the mid card, and I can't even see lower mid card. Is that what I call it?
They have subscribed to the mid card tier. That's right.
Yes, correct, and that's why they have their names out there.
Mid card, undercard. Yes.
Even if you want to just give a shout out, just want to pledge some like as little support as you want. Even the first tier will give you a follow back on social media. Even if we haven't already, will follow you back or will give you a shout out. And of course, the best thing about our recent season, the Discord community, bro. I love our Discord community so much.
Absolutely. It's always popping up with conversations with our thoughts, your thoughts as well. So if you haven't joined our Discord yet, please do so. The link is also in our description lah.
Yes, and it's definitely going to be popping this weekend as AEW Revolution rolls along. Live pay-per-view nights are always the best time.
That's correct. That's correct. And I mean, when you jump into the Discord, right, put the spoiler notification lah, when we are talking about live events.
Yes, we try our best. But at the end of the day, right, you know what's the best thing about the Discord channel?
What's that?
When people send random ass shit or videos or things like so obscure, I think to myself like, damn, guys, you are reminding me, jogging my memories, bro.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, somebody sent something about Control Your Narrative, which is CYN, which is that new wrestling federation that EC3 and Adam Scher, aka Braun Strowman, set up, no?
Yeah, apparently it's a thing. Hey, what up, D-Shadow? We just gave a whole shout out to you just now.
Absolutely. So, apparently Velveteen Dream is going to be there as well.
With his real name?
Yeah. Well, I forget what his real name is, but
Patrick something, right?
Yeah. So that's an interesting development, isn't it? Patrick Clark. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Oh yeah. Apparently Killer Cross is there. Apparently Austin Aries is there. But here's the crazy thing right now.
Yeah.
I do feel there needs to be a third brand or third company like getting some sort of prominence, because the abundance of talent across the whole pro wrestling industry demands it, bro.
Bro, you say that. Meanwhile, Impact is in one corner going, what about me?
What about me? It should be.
Yeah, right. Aren't they the third? But why are they not getting any love?
Okay. First of all, have you seen any presentation of Impact recently?
I did once. But this was during like height of pandemic. It looked crap. It was Josh Matthews was commentating, and
it's still the same, bro. It's still in a warehouse. It looks like
it looks sad, lah.
Yeah, it looks like they did it like under my block, like it's still bad. Like I think if they manage to like dress it up like how it was in the old Impact days, like in the Impact studio, at least it still felt like a wrestling show.
Yep.
This just feels like if you make the production value low, then I think that's what the audience will say, lah. Like,
True.
Okay.
True. Irvin says Leo Rush should go there. He also outcast. I believe you mean go to Control Your Narrative, is it?
Yeah.
So should Cesaro go there? Okay, well, I mean, that's a good question, and it's a good question jumping into our first topic. Cesaro.
Yes.
The news of him leaving the WWE very quietly, might I add. There was no release. I think his contract just ran out, right?
Yeah, expired. I think he probably had the same situation as Bryan Danielson, where he can just kind of like let it run out.
Yeah.
Or like a Adam Cole in NXT. And from what the reports I read, like I checked out Fightful, I checked out some other news sites, Sportskeeda, shout out Sportskeeda. If you guys read articles, I'm writing there as well. He mentioned that he, as early as last October, he was telling his close friends that he is not gonna renew his contract. He already made up his mind back in October.
Well,
and do you remember what he was doing in October?
What was he doing?
Absolutely nothing.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, exactly, right? To that point, it makes sense that he wouldn't resign because he's barely been used for anything. Like, he had that one run with Seth Rollins last WrestleMania. Then after that, like, I mean, and here's the thing. How can you tell me you can't find anything for Cesaro?
Yeah. It's weird because it's as if like Vince McMahon like teeters from one end of like, super high on him, wanting to showcase his God-given world-class talent.
Yeah.
And then the next thing is like, he's a good hand. Okay, let him put over other people's talent.
Yeah. More and more, I truly believe, just watching the WWE product right now, and in the last year or so, they're really going in this direction. And I also do believe that Vince has very little say anymore. Maybe he has, his pet projects, but I think he's just letting everyone else just run it as a business, not so much as a pro wrestling company anymore. It's an entertainment business where if somebody is not making you money, you let them go regardless of how talented they are. Because the business, the brand name WWE will generate stars, or that's what they think anyway.
Yeah, I tend to think that could be the case. Like they are keeping the wrestlers that's making money, having the highest merch. That's the reason why they stay. But then, what about someone like The Fiend? The Fiend, I thought, had the highest merch.
Okay, well, I mean, maybe he had too many questions. He was, and this is where the politics, internal, like HR bullshit comes into play, right? Apparently, he had too many ideas. He was challenging the writers, and you get a few writers complaining to HR or whoever is in charge. Like, like I said, it doesn't seem like they care about, this fella is so talented, that fella, we recognize it, but they're like, how does it impact our bottom line? He's making this much, but he costs this much. You weigh the dollars and cents, taking out friendships, taking out, who's an OG, whatever. It becomes very businessy, and that's what I feel is happening. And then, of course, on the flip side, you have Tony Khan, who's best friends with everybody.
Okay, we'll go into Tony Khan in a bit, but one other point of contention that apparently Cesaro was rumored to bring up was clearly WWE was trying to renegotiate a new contract, right?
Yeah.
But they gave Sami Zayn big money contract. They gave Kevin Owens big money contract. Apparently, Cesaro didn't get that same amount of money, and he felt like slighted. Like, hey, why am I not being renewed to the level of these people who are mid-carders as well?
Yeah, true. But, I mean, in this case, I also can see why, because you can put Kevin Owens in with the program as a heel or face, and it works, and they are proven on the mic this goes back to mic skills. Not to say Cesaro doesn't have mic skills, but I think because also, he's he speaks well, but he doesn't have that spark when it comes to the on-air interview. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and also I think Cesaro, he's never relied on his promo to like get his job done. Yep. He's kind of like a throwback wrestler where it's like very circus, showcase his strength, not really being able to sell. I've never really had a Cesaro rivalry where he was intense.
Yeah, no, he's just not that guy, right? So the question is now then, where does he go? Does he show up at AEW Revolution? Is he the last member in the Revolution ladder match or whatever? Does he suddenly, I'm here? Or does he go to Control Your Narrative, go to Impact, or go back to Switzerland and retire?
Apparently, there's a certain someone in AEW that doesn't want him to be there. Apparently, he got some beef with Eddie Kingston, or Eddie Kingston hates his guts for some reason.
Really? Why?
So he said, I think apparently something that happened back in ROH or back in the Independent, I think some shit happened between both of them. And Eddie Kingston put out a statement, I think on Twitter, he said he wouldn't dare set foot in AEW. I'll fuck him up.
They could be working, right? Also,
yeah,
that could be work.
Could be. Well, probably they might be planting seeds for their first feud for Cesaro.
And like Irvin mentioned, he doesn't have the 90-day clause. So he could literally show up on AEW this week.
That's right. And Irvin also said maybe Bray Wyatt not reliable, always take MC.
Can you imagine Cody shows up this week on Raw and then Cesaro shows up on AEW?
Ooh, could it be a secret trade that no one is telling us about?
Secret trade? No, it's just their contracts went up and they jumped ship. Or they could just show up on Impact. Who the hell knows? Scully, Cody Rhodes is the new EVP of Control Your Narrative.
Oh my god. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised, man, if Cody Rhodes appeared. I mean, that seems like something up his alley. He wants to control his own narrative. He wants to be his own boss.
True. And then the roster of Control Your Narrative seems like a bunch of rejects. Not say rejects are the people who didn't play well with others. And Braun Strowman aside, I think Braun Strowman played well with the WWE, but everyone else seems to not play well.
Yeah, and it's weird because they said I was reading their so-called manifesto, and they talk about how this is for the wrestlers, blah blah blah. We don't answer to any owners, blah blah blah. Yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, so essentially it's just a bunch of wrestlers playing among themselves lah.
Yeah lah, Wild Wild West lah, anyhow lah.
Yeah, but I don't know. Does it work? Does it? Because you see, AEW started out like that, right? It's supposed to give the wrestlers, but we've seen in the initial year there were so many flaws to that plan.
Yeah, and then Tony Khan had to slowly say, okay, no, let me take the reins here. Which, to his credit, we've seen some improvements, but are the improvements because they brought in a CM Punk, because they brought in a Bryan Danielson,
Yeah, they said they're gonna have a television partner, but what if a television partner is some third-rate channel like Destination America or some shit?
When they say we have a television partner, honestly, that doesn't mean too much these days. The fact that they can't even say, what network it is. Yeah, you're right. It could be some random channel that plays in some backwards town in the US that only 1,000 people watch. So whatever that means, who knows?
Jim Cornette said the scariest thing a would-be promoter could say to someone, to a wrestler, is I have TV.
Doesn't mean much.
Yeah, or it means you might be over-promising and under-delivering as well.
That's so true. So, okay, Cesaro, I mean, the thing is I don't know, the fact that this is not bigger news, I know to some people it's big news, but to me it's just, okay, it didn't make me go, whoa, right? Kind of shows you what his impact was in WWE in the first place, and B, how WWE have devalued him in the past few years.
Yeah, and the thing is, this year will have been his 10 years on the main roster.
Yeah.
So in that 10 years, right, I can probably count on one hand all the memorable things he's done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of a shame because everyone talks about how we know he's talented, but he just can't reach the next level. Maybe it's true.
Maybe
it's true.
All I remember about him is that WrestleMania moment, the UFO with Seth Rollins. That's it.
Yeah, that's amazing. Andre the Giant Battle Royal, the first ever winner.
Yeah.
Actually, okay. To be honest, the Bar was a very fun tag team.
It was. You're right.
Yeah.
But recently though, and we all know the wrestling business is a what have you done for me lately sort of business. So if you haven't been making waves recently, they're like, oh, okay, well, go out there, make some waves, then come back. See, that's the WWE's MO as well, you know? Like, if someone goes out there, makes a huge impact elsewhere, they'll be like, come back, we offer you deal. So, you know.
But Cesaro is he's already in his 40s already, so I guess he might be wanting to go to a promotion that he might enjoy himself.
Honestly, I think he would enjoy himself in AEW.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, his best friend is there. I mean, Bryan Danielson and him are like super close, super tight. And I think can have all those banger matches that he wants. Can you imagine Cesaro versus Kenny Omega purely from a in-ring spectacle kind of thing?
Sort of athletic match, right? I want to see Cesaro versus Miro for some strange reason.
Okay, battle of strength. You know who I want to see? I want to see Cesaro versus Bryan Danielson, but with no like strings attached. Like they can just go. Yeah,
so,
that'll be dope.
I wonder if he'll bring his first name back. He can be Antonio again.
I don't think he can even use Cesaro, bro.
Antonio C.
What's his independent name? Claudio Castagnoli or something like that.
Oh yeah, good luck with that one, by the way.
Yeah,
Claudio. He purposely mispronounced it lah. Like how Seth Rollins used to pronounce it. So he's Antonio Cesaro.
Oh yeah, he calls him Cesaro.
Like,
Does it sound like some sort of anime, like Final Fantasy name?
Sure.
Like Sephiroth or something.
Yeah. Okay, so there you go. That's the Cesaro news. What else jumped out at you in terms of wrestling news this week?
Not really much. I'm quite surprised that Cody Rhodes has kind of like died down a bit. I think he's just keeping a low profile. Yep. Whether that's a ruse, I do not know. And also apparently there is some contracts coming up. Like Chris Jericho apparently triggered his extension to his AEW contract. Brian Cage for some reason has been triggered an extension to his contract. So it's very interesting because I think a lot of people wants to see what happens when the contracts expire in AEW.
The interesting thing is you bring up the contract extensions, right? So what they call like a rollover clause so that they can extend it. So that's what they all signed, right? The EVPs right at the start. The only one who didn't have his rollover executed was Cody Rhodes. Interesting, huh?
Do you think that maybe Tony Khan, like thinking about it, is like, wow, this guy actually more of a liability than an asset.
More troublesome, like, okay, just don't roll him over. So, I mean, it does say a lot, does it not?
Yeah, it does. And okay, but also you guys must think from Cody Rhodes' point of view. Actually, right, I do have some respect for him because he left WWE when he was 30 years old. Technically, he was
prime,
like stable in his prime.
Yeah.
He was making good money. He took a chance.
Yeah.
He left. He went to Bullet Club. He opened like basically bet on himself in the independents.
Yep.
Then he bet on himself and he created AEW. Is this? I mean, he helped to find AEW, right? So do you think this is him betting on himself?
He bet on Tony Khan's money.
Yeah, fair enough. But I guess what I'm trying to say is like, is this him betting on himself? Like, okay, I'm gonna whatever move that I'm gonna make next is best for me, and I have the confidence to take this chance.
Well, because of his involvement with AEW, then he got into the big show and all those things on TBS TNT, right? So now, he's definitely at like his value has risen ever since he left. So yes, he is betting on himself. Good for him. The question is, what's next? I guess we'll have to wait and see.
We talked about it last week a bit, but like if this was the biggest work of the century, it would be amazing. Like it would be because he talked about how even late last year he was talking in the interview that he wants to create something that is really, really never been done before in pro wrestling. He wants to create something memorable, blah blah blah, for his legacy. I don't know. This seems like the first step in that legacy building thing that he's gonna do. I do not know what is it, but he's making moves. Yeah,
he is. Wait. So what's up, man? Thanks for dropping by the chat. So Who's brings up a very interesting thing. I have not heard about these rumors. Chris Jericho getting ab implants. Stop. Really? Those are rumors. I have noticed though that his abs have been popping, huh?
Bro.
Through the that
even such a thing. Can you even do that?
Yeah, of course you can. Bro, with money, you can get any sort of implants. Okay, I would like to think that Chris Jericho is like proper athlete lah. He has grown sideways, obviously, because he's older a bit. But, you can still have that shape and have abs.
Ab implants. How do you insert implants in your abs? Like you put like a steel plate in your stomach?
The steel plate your head lah, put silicone lah, build steel plate macam like what? Spear protection lah.
Macam Bret Hart and Goldberg and WCW.
But instead of wearing it in there with a jersey over, you stick it under your skin. Is it? Walao eh.
Yeah, I mean I don't know. Like but we gotta talk about Dynamite. I think we'll probably like dive right into it soon. But I thought like it was a show full of compelling promos, and Jericho was one of them.
Well, here's the thing, right? Like Dynamite really stood out this week. For whatever reason, Raw just doesn't stand up for me anymore. I skipped NXT for the first time. I know Dante Chen showed up, so I need you to fill me in on what happened with our Singaporean son Dante Chen, because I completely skipped NXT. I just didn't have the time.
Okay.
Also, some big new games came out this week, so yeah, I've been like trying to juggle pro wrestling and playing games and stuff like that.
Oh, what game just came out, bro?
Elden Ring, Game of the Year, bro.
Oh, wait, Elden Ring game of this year? Like, it's already well reviewed or it's released last year?
No, it just came out on Friday. Last Friday.
Okay, cool.
I've been playing that non-stop. Such a good game. Anyway, I will be streaming that later on my Twitch channel. Mr. Young 98. Cheap plug for my Twitch channel later on.
Yeah, man. Always supporting you from afar because I don't game. I only game the games that you play.
Sure. Talking about games though, WWE 2K22, that's coming out next month. You guys stand by. We have so much WWE 2K22 content planned for you as well.
2 more weeks.
Woo!
Okay. But going back to what we were talking about, what were we talking about? Eddie Kingston. Oh, Dante
NXT.
Chen. Yes.
Yeah.
Bro, you picked a good episode to skip though.
Why?
I must say.
Boring this episode.
No. As in like you skip a good episode.
Okay, right.
Okay, Dante Chen out of the way. So it seems like Dante's 3 or 1 month feud with Duke Hudson, I think, is over because right, you know what's funny? He's supposed to like get revenge on him, right?
Yeah.
So when the match started, like Duke Hudson came out on his entrance, and he attacked him on the entrance.
Wait, so they had a match, Dante Chen versus Duke Hudson?
Yeah, they did. So this was their blow-off match from this 1 whole month of rivalry. So Duke Hudson kena attack at the start of the match, haven't even gone into the ring. He fight all around the post, kena ring like Dante showed really great aggression, and like he was like, like he's gonna get his ass kicked this Duke Hudson.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, Razor's Edge, then Dante Chen lose.
Huh?
Yeah. Dante Chen lost his revenge match.
Oh
so clearly WWE is high on Duke Hudson.
Yeah, well, I mean, here's the thing, right? And I kind of had an inkling this was the plan all along because, like, Duke Hudson has, like, some love angle with Parada, right? And then he's going to probably enter into a feud with Dexter Lumis. So I, from the start, kind of felt like, ooh, like, our boy going to get done dirty a little bit. Or maybe this is just a testing of the waters. Maybe I'm being a little bit too pessimistic right now, you know?
This is technically his first loss after like 4 or 5 matches.
Sure.
For a complete nobody, I think it's a decent run. And before the match, he managed to cut a promo backstage. So like one thing I realized, WWE does appreciate the fact that he can speak English and it's giving him promo time that other Asian wrestlers are not getting.
Yeah. Well, because they can't lah.
So like he has that, and I think it depends to see like what is next for him to bounce back from this situation, because I think they're moving on from Duke Hudson. Duke Hudson is going to somewhere else already. Yeah,
like I said, Dexter Lumis or whatever. Oh, I see a lot of people memeing Nikki Lyons with her pin, and a lot of people are thirsting about that because those were the 2 takeaways from NXT.
I mean, she chunky lah. That's it lah. I mean, I have nothing else to say.
But her pin is literally a split over the girl's face. It's like, I
mean, as long as it's not a split over my face, if it is,
a lot of guys want that. A lot of guys are thirsting over that. Like, yes, please pin me.
She will probably win last man standing with me because I was lay there for 10 seconds. Okay, but how can you miss the main event, bro? The biggest match in like recent NXT history was last week.
What is it? It was Dolph versus Ciampa, right?
Ciampa, yeah. Dolph versus Ciampa.
Yeah.
They had a banger match, bro.
But I mean, Dolph Ziggler lah, so not surprised.
Yeah, it's like I would say it's an NXT takeover quality match. And they had an interesting finish. I mean, it's not an interesting finish per se, but they at the end of the match, it was a screwy finish because a cameraman attacked Ciampa and caused him to lose the match. So Ciampa didn't lose clean, so that's good.
Okay.
And then the cameraman revealed himself to be Robert Roode.
Oh, of course, Dirty Dogs. Hey, Robert Roode returning to NXT. That's good news.
Very interesting. Yeah, so Braun Breaker came to save the day. So I think next week they're going to have a tag team match. A tag team match!
Yes. Rishi, how you doing, by the way? Rishi says, see, Nikki Lyon is my new favorite wrestler.
Nice way to join the stream, bro.
Yeah, you just want to get pinned by her, don't you?
Yeah, I guess so. But apparently it seems like now that was the number one contenders match. So now Dolph Ziggler won it. So I think he's going to be facing Braun Breaker for the NXT title at Stand Up and Deliver.
Yeah, so, I mean, obviously he's there to put Braun Breaker over lah. We all know Dolph being the ever-reliable veteran that he is. Unfortunately, this is not his time to like suddenly become champion. You know, they're pushing Braun Breaker to the moon here, obviously.
Honestly, I love the fact that Dolph is in NXT. I think it's a new environment for him because he was never NXT original, right? And he just seems like a bigger deal in NXT. I think the main roster rub that he gives helps NXT and also helps him. So it's a win-win situation.
Yeah, for sure. So okay, that's NXT. Raw. I don't remember anything from that.
Honestly,
from Raw.
1 week after Raw, what has really happened? The only thing I remember was like it was the first Raw after Elimination Chamber.
So it was the fallout for Elimination Chamber lah.
Yeah, so Brock Lesnar came out, was acting like a cowboy, and he had like a thing with Paul Heyman, but it wasn't that interesting because it was leading up to what was happening in SmackDown instead.
Yeah, but then there's also this whole thing of like there's a live event at Madison Square Garden where he could lose his title.
Yeah, it seems like a detour of sorts.
It's very weird that they're hyping up a house show, though, you know, where nobody else can watch.
But technically, it's Madison Square Garden, so I guess it's just a detour. I don't think there will be any big news that is coming, and I don't think Lashley will be able to return in time for WrestleMania.
No,
so
I feel like it is a bait and switch. So there will be last minute. Oh, he has not cleared concussion protocol. They just throw some rando, whoever, and then Brock will just decimate them lah.
Yeah. You know? One thing I think that was interesting about Raw is apparently Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens are going for the tag team titles.
Yeah, but you know and this is the other big news as well, right? And we'll get to that in a bit. But did you notice what Kevin Owens said about Texas?
Oh yes. He's been shitting on Texas quite a lot recently.
I mean. The rumor is that Kevin Owens versus Steve Austin is going to be a thing, right? And you know, I guess WWE needs that big pop, that big return, and there's nobody else that's going to make a bigger return than Stone Cold Steve Austin in Texas. Like, I mean, even if he doesn't have a match, he'll probably just come out and stun Kevin Owens or something like, you know?
Honestly, that should be the role, because when we put it up on Instagram on our poll, whether you want to see Stone Cold wrestle, a majority of us fans are just like, bro, let him rest.
Yeah.
Don't ruin his legacy. He had such a perfect send-off match against The Rock. Nothing can beat that, you know?
Exactly, right?
Don't give him in the match. Just let him interfere or make an appearance.
Yeah, pull off one stunner and there you go. Just drink some beer over Kevin Owens' body. Then where does this leave Seth Rollins for WrestleMania?
Yeah, so the thing, the Seth Rollins, I think his future is slightly murky.
Yeah.
Unless a certain dashing someone gets in the way. Because I think if the perfect opponent for Cody Rhodes to come back to is Seth Rollins, in my opinion.
And then Seth would have to put him over or something like that. Speaking of Cody Rhodes, okay, now this is starting to jog the memory. There were two promos. First of all, the Miz and Logan Paul thing.
Yes, that stupid ass promo.
Like, I mean, Miz, obviously, he's trolling everybody when he brings out like, oh, my partner, he's dashing, blah, 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 and all that. It turns out, okay, we are going to get Miz and Logan Paul versus Mysterios, right? So this is your obligatory celebrity rub match.
Yeah. So apparently Logan Paul is back in WrestleMania 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
very interesting. I wonder why they don't bring the better celebrity appearance, which is Bad Bunny.
I mean, he probably has other things to do lah, you know. But
Yeah.
okay, this time around, Logan Paul is going to be in the match. So has he been dedicating and training like Bad Bunny has been? That's the big question, right?
But knowing Logan Paul and what he's achieved in boxing, you wouldn't put it past him to be able to train for this. Like I think he is athletic, so.
But okay, it's a very different type of training, though. You know what I mean?
He does have the showmanship aspect down for sure.
We'll have to wait and see. I just hope, like you remember, like I always go back to remember Bam Bam Bigelow versus Lawrence Taylor, WrestleMania. I forget which one, but that was the first celebrity WrestleMania match that I remember, and how bad it was, because like Lawrence Taylor is this freaking like football star, right?
Yep.
So you think, oh, he must have a lot of stamina. And if you watch that match, I remember this clearly because this is like me as a child watching my first like outsider come in to wrestle a wrestler. It was sluggish. It was shit. Like he blew up within the first 2 minutes because it's a different type of. Ask any wrestler, they always say it's a different type of conditioning. So I wonder if Logan Paul is taking this specific training seriously. I would like to think so, but we don't know, right?
Yeah, and you can't deny, like, okay, as much as we shit on the celebrities, but the celebrities that WWE has been choosing recently are current celebrities.
Yeah.
You know, like a couple of years ago, they were choosing like people who no one really gave a shit, like Snooki lah.
Yeah, over the hill people lah. Yeah, whoever they could get their hands on lah, basically.
Yeah, but like this crop of celebrities, like Bad Bunny is like mainstream, biggest Latin star in the world.
Logan Paul
is infamous, like everyone knows him, right?
Yeah.
So they are choosing the right type of celebrity if they want just clout.
What about Johnny Knoxville?
I mean, to a certain generation, I think your generation, like Jackass was like the biggest thing ever. What?
Okay, bro. Johnny Knoxville versus Sami Zayn WrestleMania. I think that's where they're going with it for the Intercontinental Championship. How offended are you as a wrestling fan and as someone who has an Intercontinental title belt right there in my room? How offensive does that sound? Because to me, that's like, oh my God, please don't bring the Intercontinental Championship into this, please. And the worst is if he wins, I would be so upset.
Yeah, I don't even understand, because like in a company where you fired one of your best technical wrestlers in Cesaro or let go, and then you have someone like Johnny Knoxville fighting for the technical workman title.
See, that's the thing. You say you don't understand, but deep down, we both understand why this is happening.
Yes, we do.
WWE is not a pure pro wrestling company anymore. They're about entertainment, making waves, you know, putting on a show. It's spectacular. Boom, boom, boom. Yes, there's pro wrestling in there, but they've really, like, in the past few years, really just moved away from the pro wrestling part and just gone straight for the entertainment.
Yeah, and I think, to me, this match is going to showcase how amazing Sami Zayn is. If nothing else,
to like be able to put him over.
If he can make this work, I mean, he has been making it work somehow.
Yeah.
Did you see? I mean, I don't know whether you watch Raw, but like the crowd pop for Johnny Knoxville like mad, bro.
Sure.
Like
Raw or SmackDown?
No, on Raw, when Johnny Knoxville came in. He came out on SmackDown, right? Oh yeah, he came out on SmackDown. Sorry, but yeah, I was watching SmackDown as well. Before him, right, bro? No one had as big of a pop as him. So it's like, if he is getting a bigger pop than some of your more established stars, then okay lah, I get his reason for being there.
Yeah, the rub is definitely worth it. But like, this goes back to, remember the old WCW David Arquette winning the World Heavyweight Championship. It's like, you got the rub already. You don't need to take it further. You don't need him to win the title, you know?
That's true. Oh, so who said something funny? If a kid can win a tag team championship in WrestleMania, why not Knoxville?
We know that the tag team championships mean absolutely nothing right now. Bro, absolutely nothing. Worthless.
It is worthless. Maybe they need a celebrity for each night of WrestleMania, perhaps.
Yeah. That's why. So you got Logan Paul one night, Johnny Knoxville the other night. So there you go.
Yeah. Oh, one you said you talk about two promos on Raw that so-called hinted at Cody Rhodes. The second promo was they mentioned Edge. Edge had a say-in promo.
I enjoyed Edge's promo, if anything, because he purposely, and you could tell he did it on very deliberately, teased several things. Like he said the word phenomenal, which is like, okay, AJ Styles. Then he used the word undeniable, huh?
Oh yeah, undeniable first, yeah.
Undeniable, which is a reference to Cody Rhodes. So he's actually planted several seeds to keep the smart fans guessing. But did you notice that when he said phenomenal, the crowd popped?
Yes, for sure. Because I feel that is the match that I think would need to have. If you want to have like a nice marquee veteran match,
sure.
Edge and AJ Styles never been done before, always been in separate companies. I think there's a great opportunity to explore some history right there.
Yeah, and that's going to be an awesome match. And AJ is at that point in his career as well, right? Like he's not only building up the young stars, but he just wants to have dream matches. It's not about him winning championships. He's already won it. So same for Edge. So let them have their freaking 5-star match.
I've always enjoyed WrestleMania when they have the, like you said, the 5-star match, like the standard 5-star match at every WrestleMania. So when we had WrestleMania 21, there was Kurt Angle and Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Right. 25, they had Shawn Michaels and Undertaker. So this era, I think Edge and AJ Styles should be that match. It should have been Edge and Randy Orton as well back in WrestleMania 36, but things happen.
Yeah.
So I think this is a great way to showcase both of them. But my question is, where does this leave Finn Balor? Because he hinted at Finn Balor as well.
Finn Balor, all elite please. Obviously Finn Balor hasn't been part of their plans for a long time. It's quite obvious. So almost even if he's left off the card, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, he did look good on his return to Raw though, teaming up with Ciampa. Got a nice pop from the crowd. I think he will always be well liked by the audience no matter what.
Bro, he keeps in perfect shape throughout the year. Every time we've seen him, he looks amazing. So I don't understand why they've obviously just have nothing for him anymore.
Yeah. Oh, I know we are bouncing back and forth Raw and SmackDown, but before Knoxville going to WrestleMania, there was another match that is booked for SmackDown this coming week for the Intercontinental title between Sami Zayn and Ricochet.
Right. Well, I mean, we all know that's just a match to get towards the pay-per-view that is an inconsequential match. Nothing about Ricochet's recent booking has hinted at maybe they're giving him a push. Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah, a part of me just kind of wishes that if Knoxville was really a true babyface in this scenario, he will get a wrestler to represent him. Yeah,
instead of just being in the match. Okay, just to put a bow on the WWE stuff, right? One more piece of big news. I'm sure you heard about it as well. You probably saw us tweet about it, or not tweet, sorry, put it on Insta stories, right? Vince McMahon on Pat McAfee's show, on his podcast, on his YouTube show, right?
Yeah, this coming week, yes.
Okay, so obviously this is a setup for something. The rumors are Vince versus Pat McAfee at WrestleMania. Okay, I don't think that's gonna fucking happen. That's you gotta be crazy, right? More likely Austin Theory versus Pat McAfee.
Maybe, seems like it. Apparently the rumor was that Vince McMahon wanted to be on the show after he saw Brock Lesnar's appearance on the show.
Okay.
So he's like, hey, wow, he quite fun. Nice setting. I think I can be with some boys and be all manly and Republican and shit. I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. Vince McMahon doesn't really go on these shows, that kind of thing. He doesn't do podcast interviews. He's notoriously...
Honestly, it's a big deal, right?
Yeah, it's a huge deal. And for Pat, I think what it is too, I know that Vince loves Pat McAfee. You can just get that vibe. Pat McAfee goes off the chain on SmackDown on commentary, and Vince is backstage producing him, right? I think Vince really, really likes Pat McAfee.
I think a part of it is I think Vince respects his sports credential as like a NFL player, and he's just like a job. I think he really likes when he's manly men together.
He probably has a very good working relationship with him, and so he's gonna be on the show, and this is to start the angle. Like I said, There's no way 70-plus-year-old Vince is going to get in the ring with Pat lah. I mean, hey, I think Pat also will be like, hey, please, don't make me responsible for killing the old man. Okay?
Yeah. And also, I feel like as great as Pat has shown in the ring in NXT, I think he needs somebody who is better in the ring to kind of like lead the way, right? And Austin Theory, honestly, for his age, I think he's a prodigy, bro. I think he's smooth. Is good. He and judging, like you said, by recent booking, he deserves a spot on the WrestleMania card.
So why couldn't you have done that with somebody else though? Why Pat McAfee?
Because I think Pat McAfee also has some sort of mainstream celebrity about him. Like he's well known in NFL among NFL fans.
He was involved in the Super Bowl as well, so a lot of people have seen his face. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and he did. I don't know whether he won the Super Bowl before, but I think he was like a really super successful NFL player. So that was one of the reasons he got hired by WWE, because that Pat McAfee show that he did was highly successful, and he was a wrestling fan from there. So that parlayed his WWE career. So another, I think, example of WWE wanting to leverage on their in-house celebrity talent lah.
Yeah, which actually, now that you've put it in that way, makes a lot of sense, right?
Yep.
So Pat McAfee, Austin Theory, I have no problems with that. Pat will sell like crazy, like he did with Adam Cole back in NXT. So we know this guy can work.
Some people said to me, right, like, I was trying to find out like how big of a deal is his Pat McAfee show. Apparently, bro, he is like the Joe Rogan of sports commentary in the US.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, he like, and then see, Irvin just confirmed it for me. Like, he got a 4-year, $120 million deal for his show. So this motherfucker is rich as fuck. And that's why I think that WWE allows him to like still carry on his other interests and stuff, because he's making him more money than probably his gig in WWE.
Yeah.
So WWE wants him because he is an asset to the company. He's like the Rock for them.
Yeah.
In this regard.
And putting him up against someone like Austin Theory, who they want to groom, I think makes a lot of sense. So there you go.
The shadow says something even funny. I think Austin Theory is Vince McMahon's avatar.
He's champion, right? Any beef, just Vince and Austin Theory get whacked.
Yeah, that's the case, probably. And also, I think Austin Theory, honestly, he looks like, okay, I'm not saying that he's on MJF's level right now, but he seems to be the star of the next generation that WWE is grooming for him to be.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, we all know this.
Yeah, he has the tools lah. So let him fly, let him have this great match, let him have his high-profile match, and get him seen in front of a huge audience.
There you go.
One last thing about Austin Theory, and this is no joke, I'll tell you the honest truth. I posted about Austin Theory on my main foreign account on Instagram, and that one I rarely post wrestling stuff, because most of my wrestling stuff I really do a kick to the gut, right?
Yeah.
So the one time I posted a photo of him, he was like posing like in a leather jacket and like half naked inside and stuff. Then I got random girls on my Instagram just thirsting over Austin Theory. Hey, who the fuck is this guy? He damn hot, and they are married women, bro. Like I have married female friends who are like, who is this guy? Fucking hot. Is he like a actor or like model? No, I say he's a wrestler. That's like, really? Wow, hot, You see, mainstream appeal.
Mainstream appeal. There you go. Putting out the thirst traps.
Man.
And well, yeah. Like I said though, you can tell what WWE is doing, right? Like their entire direction is this shiny, pretty product. Not so much AEW, and we'll get to AEW in just a second, I suppose. Anything else you want to talk about WWE wise? I think we've tapped that dry.
Just one more thing. So apparently, if you watch SmackDown, Sasha Banks and Naomi are apparently a tag team now.
Yeah, because Sasha Banks has nothing else to do, I guess. Because I know I roll my eyes at that, because I'm like, I'm kind of done.
Honestly, I would have preferred Naomi versus Sonya Deville at WrestleMania.
It'll probably be Sonya Deville in a team against Sasha Banks, no? Or are they done with that feud?
No, because when they say they're going to be a tag team, they're going to challenge for the tag team title. So if you forgot, which I don't blame you, the tag team champions right now are Zelina Vega and Carmella. So
I wish they could lose any second, let's be honest.
Yeah, so probably that's what's going to happen. You're going to have a tag team match, throw away for the women's title, and Sasha Banks is going to get her WrestleMania moment there, which is kind of sad because...
Yeah, but I mean, okay, the time and the focus should be on people like Bianca Belair, Ronda versus Charlotte, Bianca versus Becky Lynch. Those are the big title matches. Oh, one more big piece of news we forgot. How could we, bro?
What, bro?
Actually, I haven't watched it. Has anybody? Or is it even out yet? The debut of Carmella and Corey. Their attempt at softcore porn.
Bro, I think it's out today or tomorrow. No, I think it's tomorrow because it's Monday.
Oh,
US
after
time.
Raw. After Raw, is it? Okay.
Yeah. If I'm feeling horny, maybe I'll watch it tomorrow. See how. But honestly, okay, I'm not trying to be mean or what, but when they say like Carmella is like the most beautiful woman of WWE, I disagree.
Yeah.
She is not.
No, I mean, she's like hot. She's beautiful. I'm sure she's beautiful on the inside as well. But I mean, it's a gimmick. Why? And the whole thing is like she's being like, very egotistical. So yeah, that's a heel thing.
No. What I mean is like she's like promoting that she's gonna do some softcore stuff. Like I'm like, oh, okay. Like it doesn't like entice me. But if you put like maybe like a Alexa Bliss, I'm like, hey, I'm here for it. Fuck Ryan Cabrera, I'm still gonna watch it. You know what I mean?
Okay, sure. If anything, it has gotten people interested to see how raunchy they can get, right?
Yeah.
And anyway, but the funny thing is on YouTube, like YouTube also has terms and conditions. So how raunchy can they get?
Yeah, they can't. No lah. It's just gonna be just like them teasing and talking. They're not gonna show shit.
Yeah.
I think we have a new person on the chat. I've never seen this guy's name before. Thinking about soccer.
Hey, what's up? Did you stay up late thinking about soccer, watching soccer? What's up? What do you think about Carmella and Corey Graves? I mean, they obviously have chemistry, and Corey Graves to me is one of the most interesting people in the WWE because he's very good on the mic. He's very good as a personality. So him being in a reality show makes a lot of sense. Yeah,
I mean he is unconventionally handsome also, so I think he might bring in some female audience, I guess. But it's just a bit like dirty for me because like wasn't the whole drama a couple of years back was like he kind of like left his wife and kids for Carmella.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was all highlighted in that season of Total Divas, which, I do enjoy watching. So honestly, I feel like this could be an extension of like Total Divas. The way they shot it.
Were they good on the show?
Yeah, they were interesting. And Carmella looked hot AF throughout the entire series. So, I mean, this is what they are banking on, quite obviously. But here's the thing. There's just way too much content out there to watch to begin with. So we'll see how many eyeballs this gets.
Yeah, it's true. And I think at the end of the day, they're trying to appeal to as much different audiences as possible. What happened to that Total Divas crowd? That Total Divas audience now are craving for some sort of Total Divas-like content.
So did their show not get renewed or what? Because there hasn't been any new Total Divas.
Yeah, the show got canned. They got cancelled. So I think they didn't renew it.
That's why they're putting this on YouTube so that everybody can watch. So yeah, that makes perfect sense then. and
of course, like you have the Miss and Mrs., which is apparently a much funnier, better show. And Total Bellas are their own entity already. So like let them be lah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to AEW then, and this will lead us into the preview of AEW Revolution, which is happening next Sunday. Is it a Sunday? So this is Monday morning for us.
Is it Sunday or is it Saturday morning? I'm not too sure. I have to double check.
It's March the 6th, so it's a Sunday. So that means Monday morning. Oh, finally a Monday morning pay-per-view for us.
So we'll definitely come right after the show, like literally live right after talk about it. So that's going to be fun.
We'll do what? Right after? We'll come right after? What?
Hey, Hoi. From watching Corey and Carmella or what?
I mean, anyway, let's talk about AEW. And for the second week in a row, I felt that AEW was the better, more exciting. We keep talking about AEW being like the Attitude Era show. And I really feel that way now. Like, I am 100% sold that, Tony Khan growing up, he watched a lot of Attitude Era stuff. And the vibe of the current Dynamite product is very Attitude Era.
That's true. And also, I feel the great thing about, I'm not trying to compare, but I think the great thing about AEW Dynamite is like every single segment you can tell is executed. It's not last minute. It's like they put some thought into it. There's people booking it. Ooh, so like for better or for worse, like every show is planned. You know what I mean?
It feels more disjointed, honestly. But then again, over on Raw side, it's very stale. It's very stagnant.
Okay, Rishi gave the best way to describe it. Like he feels that every AEW segment is watchable
because they've gotten rid of a lot of the garbage. If you think about it, yeah. So where Raw is like a lot of just very standard stuff that's being produced by producers, and being in the media line, sometimes you look at like, wow, hey, these funny guys in a show must surely be funny. But then you watch the show and it's like, hey, it's not funny at all. Why?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
they're
that's
just
true. That's true.
they're
And I
given.
think that the great thing about I think right now a lot of their wrestlers are over.
Yeah, because they've spent the time and effort to push these guys lah. Okay, my big takeaway from some of the segments on Dynamite, right? Like, okay, let's just jump right into the Chris Jericho versus Eddie Kingston. I enjoyed the hell out of it, but I also question what the hell Chris Jericho is doing now. Like, it seems like they've purposely abandoned all kayfabe, and you know, it's not like, oh, you know, like he's using terms like babyface and getting over. I'm like, really? He it appeals to someone like me, like you. We know what those terms mean, but to the general audience, do you think they will know what the heck he's talking about?
My confusion is they completely just move on from Proud and Powerful and that whole drama there.
Yeah.
They just had one blow-off match and that's it.
Well, the whole point is because of Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston was the one that, you know, quote unquote poisoned the well, right?
Yeah, and I think if you listen to that promo, he talked about how Chris Jericho is a sports entertainer. Like he's not like, I think that's like the criticism that they're gonna levy on Chris Jericho. But like I couldn't tell who was the heel or who was the face in this segment because like Chris Jericho acted like a pompous heel.
To me, Chris Jericho was definitely the heel here. They're going with that. They know that Eddie Kingston is like an AEW guy. You know, he's gonna get the support lah. Which makes sense to me. This feud, Chris Jericho needs to be the heel. That's why he had to be disconnected from the inner circle, who are all faces now.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. And honestly, this is the most interesting Chris Jericho has been in a while. Yeah. So like, I think that's good. Like he's getting back his mojo. But do you realize something? People are not watching the show for Chris Jericho.
Oh no.
They're watching the show for people that is fighting Chris Jericho. Like the other people who are fighting are the one that is interesting, that is carrying the feud. So the criticism that's being levied on Chris Jericho right now is that he is leeching on to the next popular wrestler or like to the buzz. You know, like Orange Cassidy was buzzworthy. Okay, he leeched on to him, and this time it's Eddie Kingston.
You could see it that way, or you could see it in a way where it's like he's using his tenure, his legitimacy to legitimize the other people, to legitimize his opponents, right? Like, what really made my mind just kind of go, what the heck is going on with this whole scenario is like, you know, Eddie Kingston's supposed to be like the indie guy who's like, fuck kayfabe, and like he was talking like in
like a
way,
wrestling character storyline.
Yeah, whereas Chris, who's the sports entertainer, he's the one breaking kayfabe. So I was like, this made no sense to me whatsoever. Like, was he doing it on purpose, try to piss off the old wrestling, like, you know, the smarts like us? Like, is that what this is?
I couldn't tell because at the end of the day, I feel like Chris Jericho has reached this certain level in AEW where like he's a featured part of the show. Like I think he's an important part of the show, but he's not the thing that people come to AEW to watch anymore. When he was there in 2019, but right now it's clearly the CM Punk Bryan Danielson's show.
Sure.
And honestly, I think the show is better for it.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's just a different time, right? Like, he served his purpose when the company first set up. He brought legitimacy to the title and stuff like that. Now, yes, he has to take a back seat. You know, I don't think he's there politicking his way into trying to become the main event.
Yeah, I think he likes where he is right now. But we talk about the show starting. Didn't the show start off with like a tag team battle royal?
Yep.
It was like a complete clusterfuck until like the last 6 teams lah.
Yeah.
But when the last 16 came out, right, bro? Honestly, AEW's tag team division is the best right now.
Yeah,
like in terms of the most over number of like stars in tag teams lah. Like I can't believe like somebody like FTR was like taken out early.
Wow. We've talked about this before. Like, we all know that FTR is an amazing tag team, but it just doesn't seem like AEW wants to, you know, put any emphasis on them. So this whole thing, like, who won? I forget. It was Red Dragon.
Red Dragon, yeah. Red Dragon won. Yeah. And they played into the whole drama of them eliminating Young Bucks lah.
Yeah, so yeah, they will have the whole Young Bucks thing. They're going to go up against the Dinosaur and Tarzan Boy, Jungle Boy. I'm completely over Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus,
bro.
Like what the hell is this stupid ass name anymore? You know, and like their promos are so cringe. Like this is Jungle Boy's thing now. Every promo he insinuates some sort of ass joke, which is so weird. Like it's very awkward. You know, it's like, what?
And Luchasaurus just roars at the side.
Which is fine. Like, I mean, he's not a great promo to begin with, so if he just sticks to his gimmick, fine, you know. But and Christian is just kind of there, kind of not there. So, like, as much as we want to say yes, their tag team division is stacked, right? I feel like I also don't care. And this is on the Young Bucks. Aren't they supposed to be in charge of the tag team division?
Honestly, it's because of the champion. Like, I think Luchasaurus, like, Jurassic Express doesn't feel like they should be the one leading the tag team division. Maybe they had a nice cup and coffee run with it, but honestly, Redragon becoming the tag team champions would be very, very interesting development.
So what, are we gonna have them win the tag team championships and then Adam Cole wins and then they do this whole Undisputed Era gig again?
Well, right now the match for Revolution is a so-called a triple threat tag team match.
Yeah.
So there will be like Redragon versus Jurassic Express, and then supposedly this week they're gonna who is the last one, which is Young Bucks lah.
Which will probably. So this is my other thing as well. It's very annoying, right? And what's his face? The stupid guy in the mind, Excalibur.
No,
like every time in between when they start promoting Revolution. And then he has to like say all the matches very fast. It's super irritating now because like a lot of these matches are like multiple teams, and then the winner of this match it's becoming way too convoluted. Why is the tag team division so convoluted?
Because they have a lot of tag teams and very little TV time. That's exactly it. Like, okay, you see, bro, like Dynamite, right? The amount of tag teams they have, I think can fill 2 shows.
Yeah, true.
But WWE, the amount of good tag teams they have can only fill 1 show, but they have 2 shows to fill.
No, I think they have good tag teams though. That's the thing. They have good tag teams. They just are like literally not giving 2 fucks and giving them even less time to shine. Right? I think it just has to do with the fact that the tag team division doesn't have a figurehead, someone to grab the reins and say, okay, let's do something good.
Yeah, maybe. I think Redragon could be the one.
It goes back to like, why is the CM Punk MJF stuff working? Why is the Mox and Bryan Danielson stuff working? It's because they are there. They are crafting these storylines. They are the quote unquote, they are booking their own angles. Whereas in the tag team division, it's the freaking Young Bucks.
Bro.
That's why it's a convoluted mess. They love doing this shit. That's why when you talk about like the early days of AEW, a lot of it was a convoluted mess because people like that was running the show. People like Kenny Omega's, Young Bucks and stuff like that.
What if Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley go for the tag team titles?
Bro, then we will see the tag team division suddenly become awesome. See, you bring up a very good point. That's the whole thing. Like we talk about, Tony Khan being best booker. It's like, he's just letting people do their thing.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's okay to let people do their thing, but you need to let the right people do their thing.
Exactly. So, okay. So it's going to be a triple threat deal, whatever. Let's move on. Face of the Revolution ladder match.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll talk about that later. Did any of it unfold on Dynamite? I don't remember.
Yeah, Dynamite, Rampage. I think the most recent qualifying match was between Anthony Bowens and Orange Cassidy. So
I mean, that was a dumb match, lah. Honestly,
yeah,
it
was a dumb match, lah, for sure.
It was very obvious who was going to win. One's half of a tag team. That
did you watch a bit of Rampage or eyeball a bit of it?
I skipped Rampage as well.
Yeah, so that match was on Rampage, but on Dynamite it was a Ricky Starks versus I can't remember who already. I can't remember. But anyway, the 4 people that is in the match so far is like Keith Lee, Powerhouse Hobbs, Ricky Starks, and Orange Cassidy. So I think there's gonna be 6.
Yep.
Maybe 6. Yeah. So they're gonna have one more guy, and then they have gonna be a surprise, lah. Clearly.
Cesaro.
Cesaro, Jeff Hardy, blah blah blah. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So then there was Mox and Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson had a match. He was in the main event, as he should be, by the way.
Yep. He had I think like a typical wrestler match with Daniel Garcia.
See, okay, what really works, and you can tell that he is, you know, he knows what the fuck he's doing lah. He's not going out there and having competitive matches with bunch of jobbers. And I mean, I use the term jobbers, but you know what I mean? Like, you know how in the past few years in AEW, it would be like your main champion versus somebody who's like not really known, but they'll go hole for hole. They'll go 20 minutes and it'll be a very back and forth match. And you're like, but that guy's a champion. You know what I mean? Whereas with Daniel Bryan, it's usually his like arrogance that sort of lets his opponent, who is an undercard guy, get in the offense. But by and large, it's a squash.
Yeah, that's true. It's like, you know, that his confidence in the ring like just screams like, this guy is the main event guy.
Yeah.
And he's having like a match. So like, it's every time like, you know, when Bret Hart back in the day will wrestle X-Pac.
Yeah. So it's like, you don't for 1 minute make yourself look bad by making this match competitive, but at the same time, you're giving heat to the young guy. The crowd is like, oh, can he do it? Can he do it? Maybe he can pull it out. Not this whole bullshit of, oh, let's have a very competitive back and forth match. That puts nobody over.
Yeah, that's true. And the thing about Bryan Danielson right now is I feel like he has transcended. He is trying to play a heel.
Yep. But
everyone just loves him. Like, everyone respects him.
Yeah.
So it's not really about booing him. It's about seeing where the story goes with him.
Yeah. So he's truly doing, I think, some of the best work I've ever seen him do, because he now finally has the leeway to do it, right? Rishi says he's done with Orange Cassidy. Same. And the other like joke character that they brought out that honestly has done no wrestling, Danhausen. He's another like, what the hell is he supposed to be?
Honestly, I don't think they're hiring him for his wrestling ability. I think it's what he's doing on social media, which is I don't watch what he does on social media, but apparently it's a thing that's pulling in audiences. But whatever,
it brings eyeballs, sure. Like, but whenever they like oversell, like, oh, he's very evil, I'm like, I don't get it. I don't like. I don't know. Maybe it's the boomer in us, bro. We should get it, but we don't.
Yeah. Well, he's trying. He's supposedly an evil Conan. I do like Conan, but I haven't given him the time of day to like check out his shit lah. So
well, I mean, they've not explained anything he does. So whenever they reference his stuff, I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah,
you know, I'm not that involved in AEW to go and like research this fuckface. So
moving on, Moxley, I guess at the end of Dynamite challenge officially Bryan Danielson for the match. So that's gonna be a great match. So, but I like the story. The match is essentially, they have to bleed together, then they can be a tag team. So,
yeah, which is fine. I love the setup, man. This was from last week, right?
Yeah. So we're gonna get the best of both worlds. Like, we're gonna get a match between the two of them, and then we're gonna have them dominate as a tag team after the fact.
That could be the possibility. So Rishi brings up, have we talked about the House Knights Castle? Well, apparently Buddy Murphy's, aka what's his name now? Buddy Matthews.
Buddy Matthews, yes.
He showed up looking jacked as ever, but I mean, he was always jacked, even back in, you know, his days dating Aaliyah Mysterio.
It felt like a lifetime ago. Huh?
It did, but I mean, him joining, that's great. But once again, like, as much as we visually, when you see the House of Black, they stand out immediately. Like, wow, that's cool, right? So what? Like, they haven't been in anything that has been exciting to me.
Honestly, Buddy Matthews joining was interesting because I thought that he would be a better opponent to Aleister Black, like Malachi Black. Like, back in WWE, they were having like banger matches in the pandemic era. So, I was quite surprised that, because they at first they teased him going against Malachi Black, but then in the end he joined, right?
Well, I mean, this obviously then sets up for a defection type storyline.
Hopefully,
my big issue with the House of Black and whatever, right, is first of all, they're way too clunky, and this goes back to Tony Khan letting people do whatever the fuck they want. Somebody needs to come in and say, no, make this simpler. It's as easy as that. Like, you know, just clear this shit up. You are the House of Black, not the Knights of the fucking Black Throne, the Throne of the Black Hats, whatever the fuck. That's way too confusing. And have a feud. Who are they even feuding with? Penta and Pac.
Yeah lah, Penta, Duck, and Park lah. That's their thing that they're having right now. Oh, you know what was funny? Like when Penta came out, so now he's like this Duck gimmick from Lucha Underground, right?
Yeah.
And then like it's cool, like he came out with the gravestone and like looking all badass. But what was made me laugh is suddenly Alex Abrahantes look like Dracula.
And then what happened to, like, didn't they tease that Julia Hart would join them? What happened to them?
Yeah, nothing. Oh, Varsity Blondes like disappear off the face. They weren't even in the tag team battle royal.
No. What about, okay, the Ass Boys were in the tag team battle royale, but like, wouldn't they give him the push and then now they like kind of faded into the background also?
Yeah, that's what I say. Like, I feel like they have too little TV time, too many talent.
Like, we keep talking about their tag team division is stacked, right? But like, and people always, oh yeah, their tag team division is better than WWE. I don't see, like, I see that they have more talent, but I don't see them doing better things. It's the same. Both sides, the tag team division is a clusterfuck.
Yeah, you're right. There is some merit to that. Like, I wonder, bro, do you feel Malachi Black is better as a singles wrestler or in a tag team?
I feel like I feel like he would shine either way. It's just he needs the right storyline and the right push. And right now he doesn't have it. Right now he's doing his own little thing, doing obscure, esoteric promos that not a lot of people understand, which is fine. He can be super cheap, but you need to start destroying baby faces that people care about. You need to start doing very dastardly things. That like the old, freaking sacrificing Stephanie McMahon or whatever shit. Sacrifice Stone Cold. Like Fiaz. What's up, Fiaz? I know Fiaz loves the House of Black.
He's a metal fan, right? I remember.
Bro. But even you have to admit, like, what are they doing with House of Black? Like, they can do so much more. The potential, the visuals, it's all there.
No, the thing that make Ministry of Darkness work, in my opinion, was every week they were doing something to extend that storyline.
Yeah. Like, also they were a main main event faction.
Yeah, so like they started the show, they kicked off the narrative throughout the show. If they weren't wrestling that night, Undertaker's probably backstage doing some sort of sermon or some shit. You know what I mean?
Irvin says, sacrifice JR.
What? Hey, don't bully JR lah. He old already. Luckily got no kin to burn him.
Yeah. Hey, no, sacrifice Excalibur and maybe burn his mask finally.
Yeah, then he can become Excalibur Dark also. Excalibur Chauta.
But yeah, the potential is definitely there. It's just what to do with them in this bloated roster. Not just tag team division, the entire roster is bloated AF.
Honestly, right? Like, okay, you say Jurassic Express is the tag team champions, but I can name 5 more tag teams who I would rather see than Jurassic Express, and that's the problem.
How did they manage to kill off Jungle Boy's heat? Like, didn't he have a lot of heat going into the last year?
Well, it's as simple as just other wrestlers got signed, more attention was paid to other places, and he just left alone lah.
Also, he kinda teamed up with this useless dinosaur, and unfortunately, Christian Cage is not. I don't know. Maybe Christian Cage doesn't feel it. Like, when he's on these promos, also, he look quite sian. Like, I know Chad was talking about how the Young Bucks look like their heart is not into it anymore, which you can tell, right? But like Christian Cage, same thing. He's there.
Yeah, that's the thing. Well, anyway, we are going way too deep into the AEW tag team division.
Doesn't deserve it, right?
I think we should just talk about like the biggest story. I don't think. I mean, we touched about it earlier, but like MJF's babyface promo / like suddenly become this emotional. Like, it just took a random left turn.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's your thoughts on the promo overall?
I actually enjoyed it very much. A good promo is always a divisive promo. Will get people thinking like, hey, what's going on? Oh, I didn't like it. I liked it. I think it's ultimately going to be him just messing with CM Punk's mind, because they played it off like, he poured his heart out. He talked about how he was bullied, stuff like that, to gain sympathy. And then CM Punk even came out and was like, yo, are you serious? All this stuff happened, Like, it made CM Punk feel bad. To me, it's a heel trying to get sympathy and trying to mess with babyface's mind. I enjoyed it. It did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah. I was like looking around like internet for like the reactions to the promo, and I think the best comment I read, and I agree wholeheartedly, is like MJF just revealed his villain origin story.
Yes. No, but that is absolutely it, right? You talk about it's like people can go through the same thing, but they can come out of it as the hero or as the villain. They have the same like bullying story or whatever, but instead of becoming an asshole, you become someone who stands up and fights for the right. Well, he became the asshole. So in a lot of ways, there is a villain origin story. That's a great way of putting it.
Yeah, and also the best way to say is like CM Punk literally created this villain inadvertently because he talked about how he leaving wrestling like let him down. And yeah, so I think it's great storytelling and it builds on their history some sort.
Bro, this is like Iron Man 2 or Iron Man 3, you know, like Iron Man created so many villains. This is what it is. And you know CM Punk is a huge comic fan as well. And like the story that they are telling right now, like if you think about it, right, CM Punk, MJF, technically they got no history. All of a sudden now they've created a history.
Yeah, and a lot of it comes from a point of truth. Like MJF's like referencing the day that he met them and talking about his ADHD, talking about being bullied as a Jewish boy, like all these little things, like you know there is some sort of element of truth there.
Just a Friday, you know, for CM Punk, like that references CM Punk's earlier promo. To me, that was just a Friday. To you, that was like the biggest day of your life. And then he referenced it, you know, like how, it was the biggest day of my life because I was bullied and, you know, I met my hero. It wasn't just a Friday. So everything builds upon each other. That's the most compelling promo or most compelling storyline leading into Revolution for me anyway.
Bro, looking back, right, at this whole entire MJF CM Punk saga, right, their first ever promo, the first time they interacted was in early November, bro. Right after Full Gear. So it's been going on, almost 4 months.
Yep.
And right, I always wonder, how are they going to stretch this out? How are they going to actually keep this rivalry going for so long and not let it lose steam?
Yep.
And this sudden turn, right, like this left field where he suddenly opens up about his true story, I think it's like the final push to make like the hype for Revolution like there. Like it was there already. You wanted to watch this match. But this additional layer of like this personal animosity, like just pushes it over the line. It reminds me, bro, if you remember, Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair, WrestleMania 24.
Retirement match.
The retirement match. Like at first, right, the match was all about respect. I wanted to do this. I wanted to prove that I can be blah, blah, blah. And then Vince McMahon made it about his career going to be over, right? So at first, he was still face, right?
Yep.
Like Shawn Michaels like felt bad that he had to do this, blah, blah, blah. But you know when like last week or 2 weeks before the actual match, it took a sudden turn and then it was like, oh, the hype became even more like molten lava. What happened was suddenly Shawn Michaels was at first he was like very like sad to do this. Then suddenly he's like, you know what? Do you remember the story of Old Yeller?
Yeah.
Suddenly he brought this element of I have to take you down like a dog.
Yeah.
Then that like just whoa, what the fuck? That just out of nowhere. That's fucked up.
Yep.
So it's the same concept, and I really love this promo, and it makes me even want to watch this match even more.
Look, and the AEW crowd loves it as well. So the AEW crowd, they are wrestling crowds. They can appreciate a properly built up story. Not first match, fucking 10,000 jumps off ladders. I feel like I'm shitting on the young. Wait, this is part of the course. I do that all the time, right? But I really, you go and compare this to early AEW. It's like within the these two are gonna feud. Okay, within the first 2 weeks already they're having cage match, or like 10,000 people are interfering and they're already fighting all over the arena. You know, the only reason that this has managed to sustain since November is because they barely had any contact to begin with. They knew, okay, this is how we have to build it. There was a whole timeline. They slowly, finally get closer and closer to each other. They had one match. Do you even remember any pull aparts or any like backstage getting attacked shenanigans? No, they had one match. That's it.
Yeah, just one match. Yeah, and they managed to even bring in Wardlow into the storyline.
Yeah,
like it's so intrinsic, and I think this just proves that you can create great wrestling storylines in 2022. You just need the right minds to put them together.
Yeah, exactly, and the right booking. Tony Khan, Best Booker 2022.
Yeah.
Let's go. Time for the preview. So let's take a look at the card, up and down the card right now. And okay, sure. Jade Cargill versus Ty Conti for the TBS Championship. Who cares? Okay, they did a little segment on, was it Rampage or Dynamite? I forget. One of the shows.
I believe it's Dynamite because I remember Jade Cargill had a match on Dynamite where she kind of like
she destroyed someone. Chick. Yeah.
Destroyed someone.
When did she dye her hair green? I feel like that's new.
Yeah, you miss. I mean, probably just she's all about the money.
Sure.
You know, all about the green. So
yeah,
sure.
And then Ty Conti comes out and then just randomly challenges her, and this is a match. I don't care.
Okay. It's like the blind leading the blind. Sorry to say.
Yeah, both of them, like she's as green as her hair, right? Talking about Jade Cargill. And then now you bring in Ty Conti, who, had a few interesting matches, but she's nowhere near the level of, performer that should be having a match with a champion who's also green.
Yeah, but being Sammy Guevara's girl has its perks, so clearly.
What are you trying to insinuate, bro? That just because she's, dating the other TV title champion?
I mean, okay, but to be honest, to be fair, Ty Conti is one of the more popular female wrestlers in AEW.
That's not hard to be when you have like 5 people who are relevant.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like, if it's not her, who else would face Jade Cargill? Like, I personally would have loved Serena Deeb. Serena Deeb would have been my contender to fight Jade Cargill, but
right now, Serena Deeb is doing a better job of putting herself over as a heel, doing her 5-minute professor challenges, and she looks in amazing shape, by the way.
Yeah, okay, this is I don't want to talk about somebody's body,
sure,
but in 2010 when she was Straight A Society, do you remember?
Yeah, she shaved the head, she was botak.
She was botak, but like her body was like damn curvaceous, Like her like her upper body was like really huge.
Right.
But then like now her body is like super lean and tall. So I don't know what happened in the last 10 years. But like now she looks like fucking like warrior. Like she's gonna beat someone else's up. So her I think her evolution into like this great professional technical wrestler also goes back to CM Punk, bro.
The connection is there. I mean, yeah, she knows what she's doing lah. So there's not much else I want to talk about with this match. Cargill, Conti. And to be honest, Ty Conti, in terms of like her presence on the mic also, like I don't know if it's a language thing because she's Brazilian, right? So she speaks English, might not be her first language. Yep. So I've never really like heard her do a promo where I'm like, oh, it's usually just her screaming some stuff and then randomly saying bitch.
Not yet lah. Yeah, but Cargill is impressive, like as a rookie for sure. So she needs to keep up her Goldberg undefeated streak lah.
Sure. Just give her the Goldberg push. Have her destroy people.
I hope the crowd catches on and just starts chanting her name like Goldberg, like
Cargill. Okay, the next match, another bullshit match. Also, can I just say, like, really, why are we wasting Sammy Guevara, Sting, and Darby Allin in a 6-man tornado clusterfuck match with AHFO?
With Andrade. Okay. I
buy you. How much? Okay, maybe like they had their programs already, right? So they take a back seat, let everybody else's programs be the main focus. But yeah, AHFO, Andrade, Matt Hardy, and Isaiah Cassidy versus Sammy Guevara, Sting, and Darby Allin.
What happened to Mark Quinn?
He on the side. So Mark Quinn and Jose, the assistant, will be ringside.
Okay. I mean, clearly this match is to cater to Matt Hardy, who can't wrestle anymore.
Yeah. So my question is though, like, what about Jeff? Is he gonna show up at some point? Is Matt gonna walk up? Because they did tease something, right? He walked out on Private Party one time, but then after that they just kind of forgot about it, and then now they're still having their interviews at the stairwell.
Bro, picture this, right? So this whole match having a clusterfuck moment, blah blah blah, and then like they beat AHF or whatever it is, like decisively. Yeah. Then suddenly Matt Hardy like, fuck these guys. Then he go up to the middle of the ring, look at Sting, look at Darby Allin, and then he like, oh yes. Then the crowd went dark, audience lights went up, and Jeff Hardy is beside him. facing off against Sting and Darby Allin. What do you think?
Sting and Darby Allin versus the Hardys. I like the idea. I hate the setup. Like, why would he have Jeff waiting in the wings when he's... You know what I mean? This would imply that he had this plan, but he was going into the match with Andrade. So what does this mean for Andrade?
Well, yeah, the dissolution of their partnership, I guess.
So okay. I don't know if Jeff is going to show up immediately. I think, to me, if you wanted to do Jeff Hardy coming back to team up with Matt, right? Yeah, you have the AHABCDEFG lose here decisively. Matt Hardy losing his shit. And then we see vignettes after that. And maybe Matt needs to be doing his old school like deletion vignettes where he loses his mind and he starts becoming woke Matt Hardy again. Or broken.
I just foresee that they will definitely do a Jeff Hardy versus Darby Allin match, like, because their parallels are just there.
Well, more like Jeff. Yeah, Jeff and Darby. Right.
Yeah, and Sting, of course, having his history in Impact against Jeff Hardy. So like, I think that's where his landing spot is going to be if he were to appear in Revolution.
Can you imagine they purposely do a Sting versus Jeff Hardy and then somebody comes out and ends the match?
Oh my God.
Referencing that, I don't know if they'll go there though, huh?
Nah, I don't think so. But anyway, yeah. So probably in this match, the Sammy, Darby, and Sting will win lah. But the shenanigans, the possibilities of Jeff Hardy is the thing that intrigues me more.
Yeah. Jason says the 90 days that Jeff has, the no compete clause, does not come up yet until mid-March. So yeah, there you go. So he won't show up here.
But post-Revolution.
Yeah. So this match is a setup for Jeff breaking up the AHFO, which, to be honest, nobody gives a shit about. Anyway, Andrade should just go back to trying to buy people. Okay, move on. Another match. They're front-loading this with a bunch of crap. Jurassic Express versus Red Dragon. Red Dragon or Red Dragon? I don't know, whatever.
Red Dragon, I guess.
Red Dragon, yeah. Versus to be determined.
Or you can just go out there and say it's the Young Bucks.
Probably, because they're not even in this match, right?
Yeah. So I don't know whether this is going to be a clusterfuck.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if the Young Bucks are involved, this will be a clusterfuck.
Yeah, but I'm hoping we have Red Dragon to hold this match down together.
Yeah. Hopefully Luchasaurus doesn't injure anybody else.
Come on.
Yeah, the tag team championships are so like meh to me now. I don't care who wins this.
I want Red Dragon to win it.
Okay, and then they can do something better with it, lah.
Yeah, clearly.
Okay, there you go. Did this, Jurassic Express with their feud against the Ass Boys, did it bring up the Ass Boys, you reckon, or was it just a random throwaway?
Yes, it is still sitting on their ass, lah.
Yeah. Okay.
But I do like them. I do like the S Boys. I think they have their father's charisma and energy.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, so maybe they're ones for the future, lah.
Yeah. So this is another match. Like the first three matches we just talked about, quite throwaway, lah. Then here we go. Now we're getting into the good stuff. Bryan Danielson versus Jon Moxley.
Ooh. I mean, but I'm interested to see the styles as well, because like Bryan Danielson, you know what you're gonna get with him, but Jon Moxley also, he's supposed to be a violent, brawling style, so I don't know which style is gonna come up to the forefront in this match. I mean, with the whole I don't team with someone until I bled with them. Like, could this be the bloody match of the night? And I mean, we keep bringing this up, right? If they're gonna have blood, and blood is supposed to play an important role to the storyline of this, nobody else should have blood. Yeah, you're right.
So I hope they fucking have a conversation with CM Punk, have a conversation with especially the Young Bucks, because God knows they're going to bring out thumbtacks on shoes and fucking machine guns and whatnot. Who knows what they're going to bring out during that match, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, Tony Khan needs to be the one that says, okay, no, we're going to make this special. Only Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley can get color.
Yeah, but I would argue and say that this match doesn't need the color.
Okay.
Because I feel like maybe what Bryan Danielson would try to do is make what Jon Moxley would try to do is make Bryan Danielson bleed. But I think Bryan Danielson will beat him up in a straight up match to just prove that, hey, I'm still better than you and I don't need to resort to these things.
Right.
Another reason why I say this as well is because CM Punk versus MJF in a dog collar match, you know it's gonna be violent as fuck.
Yeah. So that will be the bloody one, lah. True.
Yeah, probably.
Good point. Who do you think wins?
For me, Bryan Danielson.
Yeah. Okay. Does it matter who wins?
I think it matters Bryan Danielson win because if he's the one leading this so-called new Danielson dojo or whatever it is that's going on after this, I think he needs to establish that he's the main guy. I like Jon Moxley as like the side guy.
Yep. I honestly, and this is what I like about this match, I don't know who's the clear, who's going to win. And even if, let's say, if Bryan Danielson wins, then what? Does Jon Moxley go, okay, you've earned my respect, we form a tag team? But what if Jon Moxley wins? Does Daniel Bryan go, I guess we can form a tag team, but then he actually has this resentment because he lost.
Yeah. That's true. Like, I think it can go both ways. There's so many storyline potentials. And speaking of storyline potential, bro, Jason from Brunei said something like really, really intriguing.
Sure.
First member of this Mox Danielson faction should be Claudio, aka Cesaro.
Yeah, sure. That could happen, right? Next week on Dynamite.
Can you imagine these three as mentors mentoring the next generation of AEW talent and not the Young Bucks?
That's only a good thing. And maybe that's why the Young Bucks are damn CN. Now they are not looked at as the mentors, as the leaders anymore. And they're
I think that's really it, bro. I think their vision for AEW has changed because they realize that their style is not the ones that is right.
No, yeah, they realized, like, when they first came in, they were the ones leading the charge, them and Kenny Omega. Now, they are like, oh, wait, there are actually people a lot better than us who know what they're doing and can do good wrestling as opposed to, mud show outlaw bullshit.
Honestly, I want to see Kenny Omega fight the better wrestlers. Like, I think Kenny Omega can thrive in this environment.
Actually, okay, I don't know much about Kenny Omega, like, behind the scenes. Like, I don't follow the dirt sheets, but is he supposed to be one of those, like, a bit diva types?
Oh, no, bro.
Or he's super chill? Because I've heard...
we've seen Kenny Omega live.
Yeah.
I've met him in person and actually asked for his autograph in person.
No, bro, but see, meeting people live is a different thing. Like, he's not going to be a dick to the fans. I'm saying, like, backstage to his fellow wrestlers, is he the type of person who's like, oh no, I only do things my style, I can only work this way? Or is he humble enough to be able to work a more, like a pro wrestling way lah?
We know a couple of wrestlers who would know the true Kenny Omega from SPW.
Sure.
So I think it's time to ring up our butcher man. Ask him how he was fighting against Kenny Omega.
But like I said, those are just one-off. This is a different ball. That's why I keep bringing up that fact. This is a different ball game. Their style works for their indie shows. I come in, I make a big spectacle once, and I leave.
Yeah.
This doesn't work for weekly episodic television where you give away the farm like one episode and then the next episode, what are you going to do? You can't do anything to elevate anymore. And that's why we go back to AEW previously versus AEW now, right? When you see something like MJF versus CM Punk, it's like, yeah, they barely touch each other for months and months and months. And
honestly, I think Kenny Omega, like among the rest of them, I think he is the one that is open.
Okay.
Because from all my whatever I read out about him, he's a sensitive soul, yes.
He's got deep thoughts.
Sensitive soul. Yeah, he got deep thoughts, that's sure. But I think he is at his heart like a good person. Like he always seemed to be the more inclusive out of the elite.
Okay, wait. So are you saying that the Bucks are not?
I'm saying the Bucks are more. They like to save face more.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
What I mean? Like they care about their face or their reputation more. Like they want to protect what they have lah.
What they built lah. Irvin brings up a point about Kenny's vision for bringing in Joshi stars. That has failed. There you go. Yep. So it clearly shows he doesn't know what that North American audience of pro wrestling fans want to see. Okay,
but I would argue that even though it failed, he's learning from it because now he's letting the other women feature more.
So did he just take a break and he's
opposed
out?
Yeah, as in like, I'm saying I don't think he's opposed to like being told that he's wrong and learning from it.
Well, I can't wait for the Dark Side of the Ring AEW episode to come out in about 30-40 years. Then we hear the real stories of how they actually were, and a bunch of old farts we will be like, oh shit, I knew it, this fella.
Bro, just wait for the Cody Rhodes tell-all autobiography, bro.
Yes, I can't wait. So much drama. Okay, let's move on then. Chris Jericho with Jake Hager, interestingly enough, versus Eddie Kingston with Santana and Ortiz.
Ooh, so they have split up their loyalties, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay, Chris Jericho, Eddie Kingston. This is not gonna be a technical match. It's gonna be a brawl, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be a brawl.
The crowd will be behind Eddie Kingston, I reckon. This is gonna be an interesting one. So, okay, do we put Chris Jericho over, get more heat on him here, and more more support for Eddie Kingston?
One thing about the promo that I think we didn't really mention was the fact that the whole point of Chris Jericho like having that segment against Kingston was to say that he has never won the big one. He always failed at the last hurdle.
Yeah.
Could this set up the story of actually Eddie Kingston winning and defeating Chris Jericho and then proving that this is his big victory? Because he's never had like a statement victory on a pay-per-view show. He always loses, right? So maybe Chris Jericho is the one that puts him over.
Wow, did he beat Kenny Omega? No, wait.
No, he lost all his big matches. He lost to CM Punk.
Yeah. No. That scene of him covering up somebody in the exploding ring match.
Yeah, that was Moxley at last year's
that was
Revolution.
Mox. Okay, there you go. I don't know, I remember only that. I don't even remember the match itself.
You just remember that and the sprinklers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Kingston has never had a signature victory on pay-per-view.
Yeah, true. 100% true.
So if he has the crowd behind him right now, he has the support. And Chris Jericho is willing to put over talent. So why not put over Eddie Kingston?
Do you think it's too soon to have Eddie Kingston beat him already? Or do they want to drag this out?
I think it would be great for him to beat and then facilitate that Chris Jericho egomaniacal heel turn.
Okay, so it's like he really gets like pissed off, and then he like him and Jake Hager. So down the road we might see Jericho and Hager versus Santana, Ortiz, and Kingston, or some sort of variation of this.
Yeah. Jason wants to know whether Jericho a face or heel.
Yeah, we talked about this already. Like he's obviously positioned as quote unquote the bad guy, the heel in this feud, right?
Yeah, that's true. And Little Fettuccine thinks Jericho will win. So yeah, we have divisive opinions on who will win, which makes it great lah. It's not that predictable.
Yeah, it makes it very, very interesting indeed. So, we're just gonna watch this match just for the story. Let's face it, it's not gonna be a technical masterpiece.
Of course.
And Jericho and his supposed rumored fake abs. Oh, and we have our first lag spike of the afternoon, and we will ride this through. Oh, there you go. Okay, we're back. Okay, that was our first lag spike. It wouldn't be a proper stream without one lag spike. Why?
No, because I was thinking to myself like, is that me not moving, or am I just standing really, really still like Batista?
Okay. Yeah. So Jake Hager hasn't been doing anything, only because he's been preparing for his next Bellator fight. So yeah, he hasn't been involved in any pro wrestling angles or anything like that. Anything else? You want to move on to the next one?
No. Let's move on right now.
Okay, here we go. The Face of the Revolution ladder match for a future TNT Championship match. This is going to be the interesting one, and perhaps another spot for Cesaro to show up. Keith Lee, Wardlow, Powerhouse Hobbs, Ricky Starks, Orange Cassidy, and one more. Yeah,
and interestingly, bro, what is Keith? Is it me or Keith Lee? Hype died down a bit already.
Oh yeah, he's hype. See, the funny thing is, right, when he was doing his thing in NXT, for whatever reason, it worked. He has this very
mellow voice.
Yeah, no, but his style is like a bit heelish, actually, if you think about it. Like the way he talks, his cadence and everything, the way he talks, it's maybe it's just like, okay, you know what it is? I think if you heard him talk the way he talked, but never saw him in the ring, you would think he was a heel. Right? But because in NXT he had that series of matches with Dominik Dijakovic and he was doing incredible stuff, and the NXT audience is super like positive about these guys anyway.
Yep.
That's why it worked. Now, and in main roster WWE and in AEW, like maybe it's just not working. maybe because he hasn't had like that big, outstanding match so far in the main roster. So people are like, what's the big deal about him? Why does he talk so big and grandiose?
That's a good point that you're making. Like, perhaps he hasn't met that rival to match him like Dijakovic. Maybe he needs someone who can like match up to him, whether it's in terms of strength or athletic ability.
Yeah.
I know just the guy, bro.
Ooh.
Give him Miro.
Oh my God, you're right. Yeah.
Give him Miro. I think Miro can go toe to toe in terms of strength. He's not gonna fly like how Keith Lee fly, but I think he can pump for Keith Lee as well. So I think that will be a great clash. You're right. Like Keith Lee, I think he's the kind of guy. He is somebody that you need to see in a spectacle match.
Yes, yeah, and not like cutting promos. The irony is, of course, you know what would have been perfect? Have Adam Cole be his manager.
Hey, it's still not too late for that to happen in AEW.
Yeah, now in AEW, can you imagine he joins their new faction or whatever it is? I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool. But that's the thing, bro. Right now, he's one of the contenders in this phase of the Revolution ladder match. And then there's this surprise contender. So I'm just worried that this surprise contender is going to take away the attention on Keith Lee, Keith Lee, or Keith Lee is going to take the attention away from this new debutant.
Yeah. So, I mean, AEW has had that problem for a while because they've had so many new, like defections and whatnot. It's like, that night with Bryan Danielson and Adam Cole. So Adam Cole has his debut, but then is immediately overshadowed by the bigger debut, you know?
Yeah. So I think that has been the story of Adam Cole's career in AEW because clearly he is kind of like lost in the shuffle. I guess up to now, now that he's contending for the world title. But I would argue that he doesn't even deserve to contend for the world title now because I don't think he has built enough like momentum.
You're absolutely right. Like we all know how good he is, given the push, but he hasn't had that push. He's been mucking around with the Young Bucks, and now suddenly you throw him up against Hangman Page, who he himself doesn't really have like that championship buzz around him, even though he's the champion, right? Nobody really sees him as the champion. So it's like two duds. Putting two mehs with each other makes this, even though it's for the world championship, and we'll get to it in just a bit, but it's like, it doesn't seem like the main event at all.
Yeah. In my opinion, at the end of the day, Keith Lee should win. Like by all accounts, he should win and challenge for the TNT title against Sammy Guevara. And this match, I think he needs to do some amazing stuff or like just like make a strong statement in the match. But then there are really good contenders in the match as well. Like I wouldn't want him to squash Wardlow.
Nope.
You know what I mean?
Okay, with Wardlow, I feel like the whole story there with Sean Spears, as much of a eye-rolling experience that is, like, just last week, was it? Like, he wanted to do a powerbomb symphony, but then Spears was like, no, stop it. No, stop doing this. It's not over. Just pin him. Like, he's trying to steal his thunder. So I feel like in this match, Wardlow won't win because of Sean Spears. Sean Spears will try to tap xiao. He will try to, do some shit. Like, no, don't do that. And then cause him to, lose. So definitely see that somewhere there. Then Wardlow can turn on Sean Spears because he can't really turn on MJF. MJF is busy, right?
Yeah. So he got their alibi out there. And then very interesting, he got two Team Test members in Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs.
Yeah.
Will they cancel each other out?
Yeah. Will they tease a possible dissension between the two? But it feels like we haven't seen Powerhouse Hobbs in the ring for a long time also.
Yeah, that's interesting. Oh, I just thought of something interesting. Like, imagine the surprise debutant. It could be a surprise return instead. And it's Brian Cage. Then all the Team Test people take each other out.
Nobody wants to
all
see...
of them like fight among themselves.
Nobody wants to see Brian Cage come back, unfortunately. And he defected from Team Test anyway. So yeah, maybe he'll beat up Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks. What if it's Hook?
Ooh.
Send Hook?
Nah, I mean too early.
Too early.
But it would be cool to see Hook.
It's funny though that we completely have disregarded the fact that Orange Cassidy is in this match and that he has a shot.
No, he has no shot.
So
Don't try to kid ourselves.
He's just there to fly around and get thrown and get smashed.
Yeah, he just want to see a sloth walk around and get beaten up by a ladder. So that's his role in this match.
And if he's there, that means the best friends are gonna show up. Fucking Danhausen's
gonna show up.
Oh, okay. So this is gonna be a clusterfuck of a match. Got it. This might be my toilet break. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
Okay, so it's the TNT Championship, right? So that's Sammy Guevara. Who would be a good opponent for Sammy Guevara?
Keith Lee.
A heel Keith Lee?
A heel Keith Lee, yeah, maybe. I think that would be great. Like, do you remember Adam Cole versus Keith Lee? Those were great matches.
Oh yeah, and someone who can fly, right?
Can you imagine Keith Lee does the same thing he did to Adam Cole, he does to Sammy Guevara, where he throws him into the audience?
Yeah, or like pounces him into, the fifth row or something like that.
Yeah, I think. Oh, actually, I'm getting chills imagining that match. Really, like, can you imagine Sammy Guevara bumping for Keith Lee?
Yeah. So
that'd be amazing, man.
So this is the all right, let's get this match over with so we can move on to the TNT Championship match. Yeah, very good. Okay, let's move on. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD versus Thunder Rosa. Like, as much as I love the fact that this match is taking place, right? They're also like storyline wise, hype wise is not really there,
You there is some hype if you watch Rampage. They had actually an excellent contract signing. But the main takeaway from that contract signing, the promo that Britt Baker did was she just said, yeah, we had a match last time. You beat me, but no one has talked about you since.
Yep.
So really, who is the winner?
Yep.
Excellent points.
Yeah, excellent points, but I feel like Thunder Rosa doesn't have much momentum behind her. And Britt Baker also, I feel like her heat has gone down as well. She's cooled down massively since her, initial title win.
Do you think she's hurting from a lack of contenders?
Yeah, 100%. That's exactly it. And the fact that there's another women's championship that people are contending for makes it even worse. And where's Ruby Riott?
Or Ruby Soho?
Well, sorry, Ruby, whatever. That chick that came in with so much hype and then immediately they dropped the ball with her.
Yeah. Very, very sad lah. But that's the thing. Like, I feel like the women's division still is getting better. There's more talents around, but not all of them are over. And I think that's what they need to do. They need to get more of their talents over.
So they need a female CM Punk. They need a female Bryan Danielson to come in and really shake things up. Who could that be?
Bro, they already have one in-house. I just tell pull the trigger on Serena Deeb as a champion, bro.
Okay. Sure. Serena...
Have you seen her promos?
Yeah.
She can cut promos, she can wrestle.
But Britt Baker is a heel.
But you know what? I don't mind heel versus heel because Serena Deeb, I want to keep her as the way she is.
Yeah, well, I mean, okay, so far she is facing off against jobbers lah. Like, her gimmick is a very, unfortunately, I feel like it's a mid-card gimmick. You know what I mean?
For now, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have that take it to the next level, even though her promos are very good, very intense. This gimmick, maybe it's handcuffing her. It doesn't feel like a main event gimmick.
I wonder what is the payoff.
Yeah, technically Jade Cargill is a rookie, so maybe... that could be the payoff. Yeah,
that's a good point.
I just don't see her going up to the women's world championship level. But then again, there shouldn't be an AEW TBS championship, so let's not even go there. I'd rather they have come up with the tag team championships for the women. Actually, that would make more sense.
They do have enough women, I guess, to do that.
Yeah. Okay, move on then. See, which is the main event? Which is we got two more matches, right? We got CM Punk, MJF. We got Adam Page, Adam Cole. Which is the true main event? You're talking about for the World Heavyweight Championship, that should be the main event. But if you put that last, I think it will be a huge drop off from CM Punk, MJF.
Bro, it's essentially like Rock Hogan and Triple H, Chris Jericho, bro.
Yes, exactly.
Same situation.
Yeah, so you have so if you let's say you put CM Punk versus MJF first, right?
Yeah.
Before the main event. That match is going to blow the roof off the place. Purely, forget about technical prowess and how good they are as wrestlers. Just from the emotion of this match, that's going to be the best match already.
Just from the storytelling, I think that in itself will sell the arena. I hope they have a toilet break match right after.
They should, right? So basically, you're saying Jade Cargill versus Ty Conti lah.
or whatever clusterfuck match that they want to put there. I think they should.
AHFO. That match.
And then bring Jeff Hardy back right before the main event. Okay, what?
No, Jeff Hardy not ready to return, remember?
Yeah, that's true. But so far in AEW's history, they've always ended pay-per-views with the main event. No, I'm wrong. Didn't All Out the Christian versus Kenny Omega, was it in the middle of the card or was it at the end of the card? I can't remember.
I don't remember, but yeah, they certainly have like a big problem here. Like, what are you gonna do? Put the World Championship match first? That's a bit.
I think knowing Tony Khan, or not really knowing him, but like from judging by the booking so far, they will still treat their world title match as the main match. That's what they did in Full Gear. Hangman Page was the main event, so I think Adam Cole's gonna be the main event with him. Yeah.
So CM Punk versus MJF, where do you put that then? Do you put that as the first match, the middle of the card? You have
I would say middle of the card, like second hour.
Yeah. You have a lot of very interesting like permutations, right? Okay. If I were to structure this, I would put Bryan Danielson versus Jon Moxley first. So
that match.
Yeah, because you want the first match to be hype, right?
Yeah.
I would put AHF, fuck them lah. the Hardy, that match, I would put it on the pre-show.
Oh yeah, the buy-in.
The buy-in. Actually, Jade Cargill, Ty Conti also could be on the buy-in.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. Then do a three match structure that is spread out throughout the pay-per-view. Like start with Bryan Danielson, Moxley. Center match would be the dog collar match, and then the final.
Yep, there you go. With like random toilet breaks in between, that kind of stuff. Okay, cool. Then, hang on. We have a bit of a lag issue. Okay.
The legs today.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes,
we're good.
Right
We're back.
Yep.
We're good. Just in time.
Just in time, yes, to wrap up our preview, I guess.
For me to sneeze, oh my gosh. I had like a sneezing fit suddenly. But okay, I'm back. I'm good. CM Punk, MJF. I mean, we've talked at length about the feud, and the match itself, I think it's gonna be brutal. The dog collar and everything. It will be slow and methodical, I feel, at first. Let's let them milk the emotions, make every move count. You don't need 720 off the ladder to impress people. People are going to be all over this.
I think it will be brutal. It will be emotional. You know what? I wouldn't even mind if they both embrace at the end of the match and just cry. I mean,
what?
Okay. You know what would be the coolest spot to end this match?
What?
Do you remember Gargano and Ciampa? Like they both cry, they apologize to each other, I'm sorry, and then Ciampa still tries to backstab him at the end, but then he kinda reverse and he loses, right? Yeah, so I think maybe that's what he's gonna do. Like MJF is probably gonna like cry and like apologize, I'm sorry for everything. Then Ciampa's like, I forgive you, and then GTS him.
Okay, no. I would think that MJF will try to hit, like, attack CM Punk from behind, and then CM Punk GTS's him.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that would be fair. So like he like lulled him into this sense of to give him sympathy.
Yeah. So MJF keeps his heel heat lah, because at the end of the day, what they can't have them embrace and MJF because that makes MJF a face.
No. So I'm saying him embracing is still part of the rules to lull CM Punk and try to attack him. Yeah.
It's like what Chris Jericho, Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania, where they did embrace, remember, and then after that, low blow.
Yeah. Maybe he will take a page from Jericho, and either way, the match is gonna be amazing. We just know it. Do you think CM Punk will win or MJF will win?
I think it will be CM Punk because MJF won the first one already. So
Punk wins back the rematch.
And then should they do a rubber match? Should they do the third one to break the tie?
Maybe.
But is this story over? You know what I mean? Like, it seems like this is the blow off. It's a dog collar match, it's brutal, blah, blah, blah. This seems like the blow off.
Honestly, one match victory for both keeps both of them strong and they can move on to the other things. I think that would be a great ending, honestly. And
then they can revisit this a year down the road, maybe half a year down the road. It's like, actually, we have unfinished business. We have that one rubber match, right? Yeah. So
imagine this match in the future is for the World Championship.
Oh, shit. Yeah, exactly. And so, they move on. MJF can finally maybe have that thing with Wardlow that they've been teasing forever. Wardlow can, and now that MJF's like stock is so high, right? Like obviously through this, you've built out MJF as this guy you want to watch, main event heel. Now, when Wardlow turns, you can build a main event face out of Wardlow.
Yeah. Bro, imagine MJF is the one that ends Hangman Page's run as the champion.
Mm-hmm.
And then as the champion, he defends the title against Wardlow.
Ooh.
So you're building both stars to the main event level at the same time.
Sure.
Yeah, I think that would be interesting. I think that would be really, really cool.
Okay, then we go to the main event of the evening. Okay, can we just very quickly bring up the fact that Paul White Big Show hasn't been seen since his little feud with QT Marshall and what's his face, the Ass Boys.
Yeah.
And Mark Henry, after that big signing, is relegated to 2 minutes at the end of Rampage saying the same line.
I mean, okay lah. I'm assuming they are doing other more important things behind the scenes. They don't need to be wrestling. They don't need to be on TV.
Sure.
And I think after Paul White was on TV and had that one match on pay-per-view, I think we all realized, okay, we don't need to see Big Show in the ring anymore.
No more BS is right. Okay, so now the main event. Hangman Adam Page versus Adam Cole. I think it's quite clear Hangman's gonna win, right? Like, there's no doubt, almost.
Maybe. But I also have a little part of me thinks that maybe Adam Cole has a chance purely because I wouldn't mind what's to come next.
Meaning Adam Cole being champion together with Red Dragon?
Okay, Adam Cole, Red Dragon champion standing atop the ring, ending the night. And then all of a sudden, Kenny Omega appears at the top of the ramp and looks at them, and then the show goes black.
So then you have Elite versus Red Dragon or this whatever faction they want to call. Okay, I see it.
Yeah, so like for example, my thinking is this summer they need a huge rivalry to tide over the summer. Like last year it was Inner Circle and the Pinnacle, right? Could it be the Elite Civil War?
Yeah, could be.
So and I think the way that can get prominence is if Adam Cole becomes champion. Honestly, Kenny Omega Adam Page can still be in the mix because he also has divided loyalties with the Elite somehow, right?
Right. Doesn't it dilute Hangman Adam Page's title, or his status? Because honestly, the whole reason they put the championship on him was, okay, he's the flag bearer, he needs to be the man, right? But as it is, it's kind of not working. Do you think Tony Khan sees this, or do you think he's just going to double down? I have a feeling he's going to win a very competitive match, and Adam Cole is just there to put over Adam Page. And then Adam Cole will move on to have his little feud with the Young Bucks / Red Dragon. They'll have their internal strife, and that one's going to be just a side, feud.
Possible as well. I'm open to any permutations, but let's be honest, Adam Page, I like him, but his title run feels more like a Big E title run. If you get what I mean?
Yeah.
He means well, there's well intentions in him carving out a career, but you don't see him as the main guy, not when CM Punk and Bryan Danielson is on the show.
Yeah.
So if you really put your champion, your top star with the title belt, then it's not Adam Page right now.
Okay, and here's the other side of the coin, right? You give Adam Cole the title. Does he look and deserve the title at this point? When you look at what he's done,
that's why
AEW.
I don't understand why Adam Cole is the one fighting for the title.
Yeah, that's why I see. That's why to me, this just seems like, okay, Adam Cole is just there he's a side boss. Like we talked about, a side boss, Finn versus Roman Reigns. We all know that Finn is the side boss. You defeat him, so just gives him an opponent. This feels like that to me. Their story leading up has been alright, but it hasn't been the main focus. So this is just there to give Adam Page, your champion, something to do. If not, he got nothing to do really, right?
Yeah, that's true. So, Page winning seems like the right call. But again, if this is the final match and that is the match, it's an underwhelming match.
That's why I feel like this shouldn't even be the main event. It should be the first match, which is sad because it's the AEW World Championship.
but I think it's still gonna be the final match, and that is gonna end the show.
Yeah.
But it will be salvaged if something interesting happens post-match.
Well, I mean, if anybody, like that group, the elite group, they loves their shenanigans and bullshit and overbooking. So, I imagine that one's going to be overbooked. 10,000 people are going to come out. Maybe Red Dragon comes out, then the Young Bucks come out, then like massive clusterfuck. Then you're right. Maybe Kenny Omega just stands atop the stage, and then lights go out. Whatever.
He probably comes back like, what is this shit show that I leave this company to?
Yeah,
what the fuck
exactly.
just happened?
Yeah. Do we know if he's rehabbing like an injury or anything, or did he just take a break?
Yeah, he rehabbed some nagging injuries that he worked throughout the year last year, so he's resting all of them out.
So Hangman versus Omega 2, huh? I don't know. I'm not excited for that. But then again, I'm kind of just not excited by what Adam Page does because it hasn't been interesting. The most interesting thing he did was with Bryan Danielson, and they've moved on.
And it was Bryan Danielson that made it interesting. So
yeah, so that's a weird situation. But you know what? Like we talk about the Attitude Era of like the shows and pay-per-views, right? If that's not your thing, at least like there are at least 3-4 other matches that will be your thing, and that's good.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm very happy to see. I think you've come around, and would I consider you a CM Punk fan right now?
Oh yeah, 100% CM Punk fan, Bryan Danielson fan as well. Like for me, when Bryan Danielson or Daniel Bryan was in the WWE, it was like, okay, I see what you're doing, but you never got to see him at his best, and therefore he was never like main event star. To me, you know what I mean?
Yep. He still felt shackled to a certain extent.
Yeah, now that I see what he's doing, like, oh shit, okay, I see what you're doing. Like, you can experience and appreciate him fully for what he is. So, it's been an interesting road, lah. Like, I know people always say, like, oh, Mister, you're anti-AEW. No, man, it's like, now they got good stuff. Okay, I'm all about the AEW.
It's very simple, bro. Like for right now, CM Punk is like in his Shawn Michaels' second career, right?
Yes,
right?
Yeah. Daniel Bryan in a way as well.
Yeah, both of them in a way. So they have this career resurgence.
And the fact that you have two of them at the same time is very like mouth-watering because at some point they will have to clash, and that will be an awesome feud.
Okay, is this hyperbole? But like, do you think that they are these eras like Stone Cold and The Rock?
It is hyperbole because I don't know if they are mainstream, but it could also be because of the era. Like we talked about weeks ago, right? Like Austin and Rock, they hit the mainstream, but this was during a time WWE was mainstream. Now there's so much more shit out there. There's Disney Plus, there's Netflix, there's other sports, UFC. Like just to get their attention, it's so much harder for them. So they will never be the level of Rock and Austin, but for the business, yes. For mainstream, no. That's my answer.
Okay. Maybe in styles, right? I don't think, maybe not Rock and Austin, but I think they are more Brett and Austin.
Brett and Shawn?
No, Brett and Austin.
What about Brett and Shawn?
But okay, why I wouldn't say Brett and Shawn? Because Shawn, there's not really a lot of Shawn Michaels in Bryan Danielson and CM Punk.
Oh, also the Shawn during Brett and Shawn was the piece of shit.
The piece of shit. But when I say Brett and Austin, it's like Brett and Austin WrestleMania 13. Like,
okay.
Both of them are like really strong in their characters. They can carry the company. Yeah.
But at that time though, Austin wasn't like the main event, like mega star yet.
Yeah, that's true.
Brett was the main event, and he was like bringing up this new guy. So right now in CM Punk and Bryan Danielson, you have both the grizzled veterans bringing up other people. So I mean, at the end of the day, it's just good. It's good for us pro wrestling fans to have this, so that like as much as we grew up with the WWE and we still watch the product, at least if we want to go get that throwback pro wrestling, like proper pro wrestling storylines, we can watch AEW.
If you're comparing AEW to like Attitude Era, right? So if if Austin and Rock is like CM Punk and Danielson, then what is Kenny Omega? What is Adam Cole? What is Hangman Page? I think they are like in the upper echelon of so-called main eventers, right? They
will be the ECW. No, they've carved out their own niche. Like ECW back in the day, they carved out their own niche and they had their diehard fans. But they're not the mainstream guys. So I guess I would say that, yeah, that's where the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, if you want to draw that comparison, obviously there are a lot of differences lah, you know, and they take things to the extreme. They don't necessarily think about building storylines, telling a story, but they just go for the shock and the awe. Like, I mean, maybe a Jeff Hardy is another comparison, you know?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But AEW has no Undertaker lah, that's for sure.
Oh no! Wow.
No veteran holding it down like the Undertaker, right?
Cody Rhodes.
Okay. I think we should end this podcast right now before we start talking cock.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Next week we will review AEW Revolution. It's gonna be fun. Everybody, let's go enjoy this pay-per-view. It's actually like, I don't know. Would you consider this more exciting than Elimination Chamber?
Oh yeah, for sure. I would dare say this is, to me, like immediately more exciting than WrestleMania.
Just well-built storylines, huh? Ooh, better than WrestleMania. Okay, interesting. I mean, more interesting than Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar.
Winner take all title unification match.
Yeah, like they've thrown everything out there right now. Like, this is the biggest match WWE. Which is a bit sad if you think about it, right? This is their biggest match versus CM Punk versus MJF. Like, arguably, you could have a very good argument that CM Punk versus MJF is bigger than that.
CM Punk and MJF is a better story.
Yep.
But Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar is clearly the spectacle match. Yeah. And they are playing WWE Universe mode lah, like unification or like they're just trying to shove in all those firsts lah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but okay, whatever. Like, we'll talk about WrestleMania once we get Revolution out of the rearview mirror. But right now, I'm excited for AEW.
Yep, so am I, my friend. So am I. Okay, as always, thank you so much for hanging out. Yo, we appreciate you all hanging out in chat and everything. Do remember to do us a favor. If you're on our YouTube right now, hit that like, hit that subscribe. If you haven't, follow us on our social media pages, Kick to the Gut. And yes, we have the Patreon page as well. If you would like to extend your support a little bit more and get your hands on some of the exclusive content, you can follow the link in the description and head to our Patreon page. Whatever you feel comfortable with is great. Even if you don't, you're like, oh man, you know, finances a bit tight, that's fine as well. Come join us in our Discord channel to chat with your fellow wrestling fam about all things AEW, WWE, and beyond. Plus, like we mentioned at the top of the show, match commentary is coming to our Patreon as well. We're working together with Grapple Max. We did commentary for the main event, Smart Dave versus Hotshot Wilson. I can't wait to share that with you guys.
Yeah, man. And guys, please, if you want to support us in any other way, please share the podcast to any of your wrestling friends. Tell them, share the Instagram page to them. Tell them, hey, there's this wrestling podcast in Singapore that talks about WWE and AEW. I think spreading the word, helping them to come on the live stream and like and subscribe to our channel will help a lot get the word out on wrestling in Singapore.
Absolutely. All right, bro. Anything else you want to plug before we get the heck out of here?
No, I'm good. Can't wait for Revolution. Can't wait for WWE 2K. Can't wait for you guys to like join us for all that.
Yeah, check out Foreign's music on Spotify, by the way.
Yes, dust it off on YouTube and Spotify. Guys, please give us a like there as well.
There you go. And check me out on Twitch, Mr. Young 98. I'm gonna go play more Elden Ring tonight. I'll be playing Dead by Daylight as usual, Magic the Gathering also, and coming soon, WWE 2K22. That one's gonna be a lot of fun.
That's where I enter the picture and like suddenly be a Twitch streamer.
That's why, huh? That's why. Okay, as always, it's Mr. Young.
And it's Foreign in the building. Have a great week ahead.
Kick to the gut. I like it.